All right. Welcome back, everyone. Validation Boy live stream, April 19th, 2017. We are joined by the incomparable Flat Still Earth. How you doing, bro? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All
I
right.
just had to get to the mute button. How you doing?
Pretty good. Smokescreen Design says, "Where's the hello YouTube Validation Boy here?" I don't do that on the live streams. Man, so we were talking about some stuff earlier off the air. Yeah. And I said, okay, can you repeat all that live?
I'll try the best I can. I have a little bit of understanding of it, so I think I can do it.
You want to do the first 5 shout out, bro?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Let me get there. Okay, number 1 is Daylight, Ohio. Number 2 is Smokescreen Design. Number 3 is Earth Sweetheart. Number 4 is 72nd Human. And I got to skip me. And number 5 is Richard Clark. How's everybody doing?
Oh, yeah. The champion has returned.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that.
All right. So, yeah, just chilling on the flat earth. Let's talk some deep shit, you know. So, I guess 72nd Human is here, or is that Kofo 72? The 72nd Human. We got Smokescreen Design. Man, I lost the first part of the chat. Oh, well, doesn't matter. So, yeah, the other day on Glowbusters, I heard Morgile saying something about how there's no, how would you say, there's no matter in space. And therefore, there shouldn't be any friction when it comes to certain objects, or when it comes to maybe he was talking about orbital mechanics. Thing is, though, it's coming up on 420, you know, and I'm one of those people. So I just can't seem to remember what he was talking about. I know it could have had something to do with the rocket propulsion. What's your thoughts on rockets propelling themselves in outer space?
Well, from my understanding, I didn't see this last Glowbusters, what Morgile was talking about, but I've seen some, you know, in a vacuum in space, which is a lot of videos showing that what happens. There's no resistance, you know. It's got to propel, you know, the combustion, which is no combustion either, because there's no oxygen. So it kind of it won't combust and it won't move because of the vacuum of space. And I think that's what he was. If that's what you're talking about, what he was talking about. But I know he said that in the past videos, which makes all the sense in the world, you know, especially watching other videos that shows that. It's pretty amazing to watch.
Definitely, yeah. I think, yeah. Plus, on top of that, even if you could propel a rocket in a vacuum with nothing, you know, for it to counteract or interact with to actually move. Even if you could, how would you aim it? You know how much trajectories would play into things? Like, think about it. When you're on the Earth and you're flying from point A to point B, you can chart a trajectory. But in outer space, it's supposedly infinite. So how do you even calculate a trajectory in an infinite void? Right?
Well, yeah. Like, where's your point of reference too? You know, that's something you got to take in consideration. You know, and everything's supposedly moving around like it is at these, you know, insane speeds. They say, you know, where's your, you know, frame of reference, and how you going to keep that? That's something that's been going through my mind with all this too.
Yeah, exactly. And like, damn it, man, I really wish I could remember. It's such a long show. I couldn't go back and find that one spot, you know. who knows where it was. But I remember Bob was talking about the corkscrew heliocentric model, and how not only are the planets doing this whole corkscrew thing, but each planet has its own moon, which is doing its own corkscrew as well. So the model.
Oh yeah, some planets have multiple moons, so it's crazy how that's supposed to work. I never understood that when I was a kid, but I just took it for what it was. And now it's the dynamics of that doesn't even make it. It's impossible.
When's the first time you ever saw that corkscrew model?
I would let's see. I would have to be with the flat Earth stuff. I mean, I've probably seen it years ago. I just didn't pay attention to it because I wasn't really into the whole. Like I've said before, I've never been into the space stuff. But I was, I remember seeing it probably about 2 years ago, or a little less than 2 years ago. Watching a video, it was like a little animation of that corkscrew thing, and they're saying that's how it really happens. And I was like, what the fuck? And they just can't be. I mean, people really believe this crap. Yeah, I can't remember if I've seen it before. I'm sure I have. I just didn't pay attention to it.
Yeah, I think it was some like Argentinian guy or like some Spanish guy or something. He was from some Spanish speaking country. I don't remember what it was, but I just remember that it was like kind of like an independent documentary, and the guy was maybe doing a speech somewhere, like a formal speech in front of people. I don't know if he's a professor or if he was just a guy like, traveling a circuit, just doing shows basically. I don't remember, but I know that guy is the first one that I saw propose the idea. Even though the idea is inherently part of the heliocentric model, you never seen a diagram of it that way, because whenever you see a model of our solar system, it's always static, or it's just, doing what it's doing. Even if they're going around, it's still static. It's not doing everything it's doing and moving forward,
Well, yeah, it's always been, where it's the sun is stationary, and then everything kind of spins in that the what we called the rings. Each wherever the orbit of each planet was at, it would just do a ring around it. I mean, like in school where you do the thing where you make it so they're on little pieces of wire, and then you spin it around, and it shows the orbit of each planet to the sun. That's all. Yeah, I can understand. That's what I've always seen. But to know that actually does a corkscrew too, yeah, I've never remembered that until recently, and that's why I can't remember anything like that. I'm sure I've seen it. I just didn't pay attention to it. But I don't know how long that's been around. That's the first I've heard it was about 2 years ago.
Now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm listening to us talk about it, I'm visualizing the corkscrew model. Maybe what Morgal was getting at is, how is gravity going to work, across nothingness? Doesn't gravity take matter to work?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
If you're in a giant void with millions of or hundreds of thousands, millions of light years between, or miles between, Jupiter and one of its moons, for example. Or between Jupiter and the sun, or between Saturn and the sun. How is this force, this alleged gravity, functioning through huge voids of literally nothingness?
Well, that's where special relativity comes into play. Relativity.
I mean, but does special relativity come into play when you're talking about that specific aspect of this whole thing?
I think it does. I'm not. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there because I really know. I've looked into it a little bit, but I'm sure that's probably one of the criteria to it is how all that works. It makes it special. That's the whole point. Special relativity. And I think it's relative initially, but then special relativity is saying that the special circumstances, which what you just said, it has to apply to that, which is a bunch of garbage, but that's how they explain it.
When you think about relativity, you just kind of said something there. I don't know if you intended to say this, but you said, there's things are relative to start out, right? Well, wouldn't that suggest that things have to have, started in place without any kind of Big Bang There has to have been an infinite static universe that always was and always will be for things to like, right? Because
Well, yeah, if you're realistically looking at that, that's what you would think. But the whole point behind relativity, from my understanding, was to just to explain everything that's, the everything that we can explain is explained in that, which doesn't make any sense. But yeah, what you were saying is, yeah, it would have to be in place already for it to even be relative.
right. I mean,
Anybody has any kind of
people would argue that motion would set things into these new, gravity boxes where they're interacting with each other. These new, something gets sucked in and then all of a sudden it's part of a solar system or whatever, But yeah, this is kind of blowing my mind to think about it this way, right? I mean, I don't even know what else to say on that. It's kind of crazy. I'm just sitting here trying to envision this.
And I've realized too that that's why it was. If you really truly look at it, I can only tell you what I know of it and what you know of it. If you really look into it, it was made to confuse people. So no matter how deep you look into it, you're just gonna get more and more confused, and you're gonna, at some point, you're just gonna stop looking at it and just accept it for what it is and say, okay, I guess just the way it is. I realized that's the way why it was set up that way. A lot, and there's some people that talk about that. I can't remember. I think Morgile definitely does, but there's some couple other videos I've seen and information about that says the same thing. It was just set up to confuse people. So you don't look into it, because there's been people that's actually tried to figure out all these stuff that Einstein did, all these equations, and they don't make any sense. People now that's trying to work them out, it doesn't make no sense. He just wrote down gibberish.
Well, yeah, I mean,
people took it for value and thought he knew what he was doing. It doesn't mean shit.
For gravity to work in the corkscrew model, which is an infinite, is happening inside of an infinite void. Okay, with lack of matter, they say gravity has particles. The gravitron or the graviton or the gravitron, whatever it's called, right? Don't they say that gravity is a particle?
Well, yeah, that would be the force that create the gravity. Would be the particles.
I'm sure they've never measured an actual graviton or whatever the fuck they want to call it, right? It's just theoretical, right?
Yeah, that's part of it too. It's all theoretical.
All particles are theoretical, right? I guess, yeah. So so space is not empty then, because otherwise the heliocentric model wouldn't work unless space had matter. Well, yeah. At the very least, specifically, at least fucking gravitons.
Well, space has to have matter, because what about the planets and all the stars and all the meteorites and all the stuff like that? Isn't that matter?
Exactly.
That's exactly what it boils down to. So they want it both ways. There's no matter, but then there's matter. So what does it matter?
Yeah, that's what Smokescreen Design says. There's no matter in space, so space don't matter. but I think the relativity, has something to do with well, it's not that it has something to do with. It's just the relativity is completely abstract. Oh no. Man, the more I think about this, okay, space-time has to curve or has to bend, right? That's what they say. Space-time bends around matter.
That's what they're trying to imply, yeah.
Okay, so space-time isn't matter, though. So, or is it? Because how is it bending? How's it bending nothing?
Yeah, you're right.
How does a planet bend nothingness? Or even how does a planet bend a big field of magnetic gravitons or whatever the hell they want to say is happening?
Yeah.
Too many questions, bro. I mean, the cognitive dissonance right in your face.
Oh yeah, it's mind blowing. I say I never got it. It just never made sense to me. I didn't know why. Now I know, but this never made sense to me. And then looking into what they're really trying to say. Now I know, and now I understand why they made no sense, because it is nonsense. Can't say it any other way.
I know, man. We could sit here and talk about the conundrums of the globe. I think maybe we should. What are some other conundrums that you find interesting off the top of your head, if you can think of any on the spot? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but
no. Let's see. Oh, what? Yeah, well, like this, the thing with the heat thing. I mean, I talked about that before. Heat rising. That never really made sense to me, especially knowing. And I said, the first time I went in a plane, I jumped out of it 2 miles, so I was right in the air, in that what they call atmosphere, the ether, and that was very very freaking cold up there, and it was at least a mile and a half of that was cold, which is higher than below, and about half a mile of that it was warm. So if it was and the sun's higher, you think at least the sun would be heating that air ether and making it hotter as you get up, but that's not the case. And that I said that was 31 when I did that, and then before that, it just never made sense to me how snow was on top of mountains if heat rose. If the heat rises, why is there snow on top? Yeah.
Maybe they could argue that the tapered tendency of a mountaintop, the fact that it gets thinner as it goes up, could maybe provide a platform for such a phenomenon, like a condensation that's going kind of like forming around a cylinder where there's less resistance. It's not like it's a big plateau, you know?
Yeah, that could make sense. And I mean, living in Phoenix, Phoenix is in a valley. I mean, they call it Valley of the Sun, and for a good reason, because it is freaking hot there. And it's lower. I thought it was below sea level, but it's not very much lower than sea level, but it's lower than all the surrounding area. But everywhere else, you start going higher up, it gets colder. So and I grew up like that, and it just kind of always stuck with me. So that's another conundrum of the hot and cold thing going on. And they're trying to say that the higher you get up, the hotter it gets. I don't believe that now.
Well, wouldn't they say that the ground would have a lot of heat? Then as you go up, it gets cooler and cooler until you're in a thin part of the atmosphere. And then once you get to a much higher, when you start getting to that magic line where all of a sudden you're in the infinite void of nothingness,
yeah,
then there's a lot of heat there? Or is that only when you're traveling through it at a really fast speed?
I don't know. I haven't been that high. I just know when I got 2 miles high, and I was physically in it. You jump out, everything. I had clothes on. I wasn't naked or anything like that, but I had just regular clothes on. I didn't have no parachute suit or anything like that. It was just the regular clothes. So I didn't have long sleeves, and so I felt the cold. I mean, it was freaking cold. And that was in the dead of summer. It was like,
well, yeah, no, I see what you're saying, but I'm saying for the popular science model, it's suggested that the ground would have a lot of heat. Then as you rise up in the quote atmosphere, it gets cooler and cooler. But then once you get to the edge of space, then it should be either scalding hot or freezing. Or does it depend?
Yeah.
Or does that depend on how fast you're traveling through it if you're trying to penetrate it?
I'm not sure about the speed aspect, but that's what they're saying. I'm going to look at that chart again. It shows the ionosphere, the thermosphere, and the troposphere, which we're in the troposphere, and it's supposed to be the cooler of all of them. But I have to double check that and see if there was a temperature change inside that one, because all I can remember right now with my photographic memory is that it's between a certain amount of degrees, and it didn't show what level that changes.
Well, from your personal experience of skydiving, you know that once you're up there, it gets freezing cold.
Oh yeah, it was in July in Phoenix.
Despite the fact that it's much closer to the sun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. What do you think of this? What do you think of the validity of my all-time favorite conundrum when it comes to the flat Earth or the Earth shape?
Uh-huh.
They always say, oh, the Earth is curved. So, wait. They say, it's when you go up on these balloons, you only see flatness because, it's way too big.
Oh yeah.
To see a curvature, you have to go way up there. But then they say, yeah, you can see the curvature of a boat on the horizon, which is a complete mindfuck doublespeak on its face, right?
Oh yeah, because our visual perspective, our visual vision that we can, our perspective, what's that called again? It's not perspective. What we're seeing, our visual reference of what we can see is only a certain distance, anyways. And for them to say that we can, within that, we can see the curvature. That's fine and dandy, but you go up in a balloon or a plane or whatever, you can't see curvature because it's too big. Yeah, that's that's a good one too.
And I'm not even saying that the dog cam footage and stuff is true by saying that. I'm saying that's what they say. They admit it. They admit that when you look at the dog cam footage, for the most part, any sane person, even a Glober, would have to admit, yeah, it looks flat. I mean, it's obvious that it looks flat there, But of course, there's, we got our little specialist trolls, our little agents who went around and say, oh no, that dog cam footage actually shows curvature. If you really look at it scientifically, blah, 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 even though you put a line up to it and you see that it's a straight line. But they even say that those, for the most part, most people agree that those footages, those balloon footages show flat, especially when it shows down and you see the land and you see the line. So I'm not even saying that I would even use that footage as my own proof. I'm just saying I love the conundrum that they use it, that they acknowledge that, and then they also say that the boat will go over the horizon in the same breath.
Yeah, that's the funny thing, right in the same breath. And that's why I made that video, the 13 globe claims that that are so laughable and make you cry. That's why I did those back to back. One hand they're saying the boat, the boat sinking and the horizon is curvature, yet it's too big to see any curvature when you're up high. That's the reason I did that. And I also wanted to mention, a lot of people are saying even if it was a curve, you would all around you would still see a horizon line because of where your perspective is. But the problem is the higher you get up, it should still be flat, I think, although it should start shrinking in size because you're getting further away from it no matter what. What's happening is it's getting bigger and bigger because you see more and more of it.
That's true. It just keeps expanding.
Yeah. So that doesn't make any sense to me. I'll accept that. What we see is flat because no matter what around you, you're going to see it flat because of your point of view. But once you start rising, it should start shrinking. That should start shrinking in what you're seeing, and you start looking down at it, which has been a big conundrum, I guess you could say, or a big discrepancy in their point of view versus what we're seeing in reality, which is it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're seeing further and further and further. That wouldn't happen on a curve, no matter how big it was.
Yeah, and it further lends to the fact that no matter what you do, you still, even the highest dog cam, the highest balloon footage we got, you still don't see the whole Earth.
Yeah, you see a little bit of it. Yeah, you're right.
We've been joined in the live chat by the one and only, the lovely Miss Patricia Steer, who says, hello, Vlad. Hello, VB. We've been joined by 72nd Human. We've been joined by, of course, the champion, Richard Clark. We've been joined by our last guest, one of my last guests, I guess, Justin Bernard. And Justin Bernard has done maybe 2 live streams, I think, maybe 1. And he also put out another 3-minute video that was 3-minute or so video, a good clip. I think everyone should go check that out too. He's talking about the creator and who the creator is,
I'll be right back, okay? I didn't go anywhere.
Okay. So other than that, we got Jeff Stewart. Jeff says he's an agent troll because of what I was saying. Now, it's just this whole dog cam footage and the sky and all this stuff. It's such a gray area, such a touchy area because, the fact of the matter is, and this one goes out to Tim Osmond and Jed and P Mars, no one's ever touched the sky. So we can't really use it to prove anything, And worst case scenario, both Flat Earth and Globe Earth are each their own religion. Worst case, each of them are their own religion, and each of them face similar problems. One main problem that both sides face is the fact that there is no footage or photography that encapsulates the entire globe. It doesn't exist. To this day, it doesn't exist. Okay, there's a whole bunch of little simulations, admitted NASA fake ones. but the picture of the Earth doesn't exist. Satan wants a shout out, but I don't know. No shout out for you. Pure Anarchy has joined us and says, "Hey, Richard." VB Rob says hi.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. So we can move on from flat Earth type oriented stuff. And, what do you think? What's been going on in the news as far as you know lately?
I just know about that fake thing that happened in that fake Facebook shooting. Where's it, Cleveland, I think it is. And
What? Facebook Live?
yeah, some guy shot some old man on the streets, and it is so freaking fake. I mean, if you watch the video of that, it's hilarious. Supposedly he committed suicide, or he got committed suicide too. And where'd they find him? I think Toledo. I don't remember where it was at. I just seen that earlier today, but that's the only thing I know. I don't watch the news at all. my girlfriend was saying something about the North Korea stuff and all the airstrikes that we've been doing, but to me, that's just a setup for something going on.
It's very interesting because think about this. Now there's things like, people have this thing called Twitch where people sit there and do whatever, and then people watch them and just pay them money, I guess.
Have you ever Twitch? No, I haven't.
Yeah, I guess apparently there's some social website called Twitch, and all kind of people use it. I don't think you're allowed to do like sex stuff on it or nothing, but I could be wrong. I don't know anything about it, but I know like there's a lot of dudes that will like play a video game and they'll talk or something, or they'll instruct someone on something else, or show their interactions on another social website or something like that. And then people will have like a super chat and they'll just keep throwing donations at them. And then some people, it's like their job, and they sit there and be themselves all day and do whatever the fuck it is that they do. And people just pay them money and shit. Apparently it's, substantial, and there's a lot of people that make a lot of money doing it and shit. But I mean, it's like you have to live your life in front of a webcam or something like that. And then you see Facebook Live coming out, and then you see someone killing someone and or committing suicide on a camera. Well, what if are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, what if these two social media platforms start to interplay and people start taking donations and find some kind of roundabout loophole and start taking donations, which can then be put into whatever account, and people start murdering people for money or killing themselves on camera for money?
Yeah, that would be strange.
Yeah, because people will pay to see that crap. And then I saw an ad for some fucking movie that James Franco is going to be in. And it depicts people going on, someone goes on TV and kills someone and kills themselves on live TV. And then the corporation, the TV company says, oh, it was so horrible, but technically it wasn't against the law. So we're going to make a reality show of it. And then people go on a TV show, and basically it's like not American Idol, but it's just like they just take turns killing themselves right there in the Hollywood studio and in front of the live audience, and on TV for the world. And then I guess callers call in, or you internet in and you fucking pay donations to the people that killed themselves for their families, and then their families get the payoff and stuff. And like it's like that's what fucking society's coming to. That's what the government wants us to do. Start killing ourselves on fucking camera.
Oh yeah.
That's how sick and twisted I think this shit is, dude.
I can see that. I can see the elites watching this too and just getting off on it. Okay, Pure Anarchy in chat's trying to. I don't know if he's talking about me, but he's saying that fake. Where does it start? Are you kidding me? Yeah, it was in Erie, Pennsylvania. They found him. He says, "VB, please don't entertain this guy." I guess he's talking about me. But he says it's so fake that this guy ever seen a dead body, or what happens when somebody is shot? Yeah, I have seen that. I've actually seen somebody probably about 20 minutes after somebody I knew committed suicide, and there wasn't that much blood. He shot himself in the head too. This guy was supposed to be shot in the face, and there was like it looked like ketchup or some kind of food color or some kind of colored material. So I don't know yeah, I've seen it up close, and it's not nothing nice. It's scary. It's heart wrenching. It's not nothing fun. But when they showed that video, they showed that old guy getting shot, and it does not look real at all. And there's way too much blood for one, and it wasn't even the right color. So
both our reigning defending world champion Richard Clark and Test Vision chime in and say that the Facebook killer was definitely a hoax and fake. Pure Anarchy seems to be an ignorant pile of human garbage and says, yeah, I'm sure you have, fucking liar. Well, Pure Anarchy, you're more than welcome in my chat, but looks like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dipshit. But glad to have you here on Validation Boy livestream with my one and only badass fucking co-panelist, Flat Still Earth, in the house. And then,
right on.
And RC gets a shout out. Richard Clark gets a shout out from Test Vision themselves. Test Vision. I don't know how to read Test Vision. I like Test Vision. They're cool. They're a troll. I can relate.
Okay, Satan. Evidence for being a hoax. Really look at that video and see that freaking that blood that's laying in front of him. That's not real. I've seen somebody get shot in the head, and there's not blood, no blood at all. He got shot in front of the face, and this is in the side of the head, and there was like very little blood. And it was dark, not freaking like that pinkish red color. Like neon.
Hey, bro. Continue on with this chat. I'm gonna bring somebody in, okay?
Okay. Let's see how I can call. Isa's in there. How you doing, Isa? And once again, I don't hate you, buddy.
It's Isa, not Isa. It's Isa.
Okay, Isa. I don't hate you, not at all. I just sometimes you come into chats and just override people talking. I was enjoying their talk. That's all I had to say about that. I mean, I like your music. But it's just I was listening to people talk, and you just go and start jumping in and playing music over top of them. That's the only thing I had a problem with. But other than that, it's all good. Isa. Okay. So, Jeff Stewart's in here too. What's up, Jeff? He says I twitch. That's an assertion, not ever.
Test Vision says, you make shit up, BB. Test Vision says, huh?
Go ahead.
Test Vision says, by the way, you're too old for Twitch, BB. I don't want to go on Twitch. I don't know what the fuck it even is. I know that it's a site where people sit on their camera and do God knows what, and people give them fuck tons of money to probably make asses of themselves. I'm wondering. Would you like to speak with Isa?
Me?
Yeah.
I've talked to him. I don't have a problem with him. He thinks I hate him because I say something about him playing his music over top of people talking. We're good. Right, Isa?
Oh, I'm sure he's cool, bro. Isa's fucking totally cool, bro. There ain't even nothing for you to worry about with that. He's a very nice guy.
I know.
He probably agreed with what you're saying. I think he did. He said, I know I annoy people or something.
Yeah, I annoy people. Yeah, he's even said that before.
He wouldn't be allowed to play music in here, though. That's the thing.
Satan says that's an assertion, not evidence about the video and the blood. I mean, wouldn't that be evidence of the blood being fake?
Well, he's saying
apparently,
that.
Yeah. Well, what is there to assert when it's?
He's saying
where's the assert when it's showing it's totally fake? I mean, it's like in clumps. It's not even flat. It's like it's like kind of like a bright pink, reddish pink color clumps. The blood don't do that in an instant. I mean, it's like a thin, dark color.
I mean,
and the way it was laid out, it didn't even touch the guy. Look at the video, motherfucker. Yeah, Richard Clark says I hope that Isa will play over me. Richard Clark says, "BD, why not just hand Isa that knife to kill me now?"
I think I invited Issa on earlier. Maybe I'll send him an invite, but he's not allowed to play guitar in here. He's not allowed to play music in here.
Can you handle it, Issa? No guitar playing? Just some good deep talking, some deep shit talking. Yeah, I know. Satan, they keep taking everything down with that because they know it's fake. There's like 4 other people that's complaining that they were showing footage of that, actual footage. The news is okay to have it on the news, but anybody disputes that, they take it down. I already know, I'm aware of this. Gee, I wonder why. It's fake. Fake. Okay, Issa said he agrees to no guitar playing.
Roger that.
No law talk either. Or ether. Ether. EITHER. That's ether, right? Oh, he says give him a little bit until he's got done eating.
No problem. I'm gonna shoot him. I'm gonna shoot the link to his YouTube private messages inbox.
No shit, I know saying it's fake doesn't mean it's fake. I'm looking at the reality of that it is fake.
Hey, you know what? Read their comment out loud and then respond to it.
Okay,
that way the listener can hear.
Okay, Satan says saying it's fake does not mean it's fake. I beg to differ when there's video evidence proving otherwise.
No, say it again. What were you talking about?
Oh, that shooting that happened, that Facebook live shooting. I can't believe people really are going to fight for that and think that's real. But
I mean,
it's the same thing with the globe, huh?
Well, I mean, like, I'm pretty well. I don't know though, man. I mean, like, I guess it's reasonable to think that Facebook and Google wouldn't be able to catch up in time and wouldn't have to like literally sit there and like have a person monitoring every single phone call, every single Facebook live that's happening to see if someone does something like kill somebody or something, you know, like, I don't know. I guess someone could get away with it, but it's just so convenient, you know, it's just so convenient that it happened. And now that's just another thing that Google and Facebook and the government can just be up in your shit about. Right.
Oh, yeah, that's what they're doing. That's why they did that, is so they can have a reason to monitor everything, you know, more than they do. Okay,
Test Vision says the video looked fake. Too much blood.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that. Finally, somebody agrees. Have you seen it, BB?
No.
Okay, yeah, I've seen it on a couple channels, and but every one of them, their YouTube's taking it down because it supposedly shows a graphic violence. You know, so that's why they're being taken down. Even somebody, I don't know if it's the Satan person or somebody else in here was saying that they had a video about it too and it got taken down. Where is it at?
I wonder if they were making a video where it was like critiquing it and showing the original footage.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Showing that it was fake. Every one of them were saying it was fake.
Satan is confused. He has it backwards. He's saying flat Earth is fake. See how that works? No, dude.
That's cute. Satan with a clown. Oh, what the hell was that? I keep forgetting what those are called now. Avatar. A clown avatar. Satan. So why is Richard Clark saying he cannot spell Vlad? That's funny. Anybody, every time I tell somebody my name, this is in person, and I say Vlad or Vladimir, and they always try to spell it with a B. And even though I'd spell it out first, VLAD, and they still write a freaking B. I'm like, what the fuck? You don't know your B's from your V's, motherfucker?
Vladimir.
Yeah. Well, I had somebody call me Vladimir for the longest time. They thought my name was Glad. They kept calling me Glad. I was like, what the fuck?
I remember that.
Hey, Satan, in VB's chat, there's no banning. There's no moderators to ban.
All right. I can't even see the chat. I mean, what are these fools in there doing? What's Richard Clark doing?
Well, no, Satan says, well, at least you haven't banned me yet. I was just letting know there's no banning here.
Oh, Satan don't know about Validation Boy live stream?
Apparently not. No, it's Vlad the Globe Impaler. That's my old channel. Satan.
Bro, Justin Bernard was a good guest.
Yeah. Richard Clark, it is VLAD. Or Vladimir.
What's been going on in the arena of politics lately? Have you kept up?
I have not. I just know some people are happy with what Trump's doing, and a lot of people are pissed off at what Trump's doing. So that just goes hand in hand and how politics works. So I don't even know what the hell he's even doing. I don't really care. Well, I guess I should care, but I'm not following it where I'm thinking, oh God, he's not did what he said he's going to do, because I already knew he wouldn't.
We'll never get the Wild West constitutionalist libertarian that we all really want. We'll never get that.
No. Well, yeah, look at my the true meaning of Wizard of Oz video, where when you take out the witch, the wicked witch, you take her out, and everything else falls into place. Yeah, I know, Richard. You've been typing VLAD, but you said above that you don't know how to spell it. You said I cannot spell Vlad, LL. I was just saying you did. You did spell it right. I ain't saying you haven't. my video, it shows that once you take out the wicked witch, which is the elites, I guess you could say, the ones in power, that the ones below them, which would be like your law enforcement and stuff, and military, they won't go after you because they're under the same tyranny as everybody else. That was what I got from the Wizard of Oz. I mean, there's the other stuff going on too, but that was my take on it, and I was pretty blown away by that, because it made sense to me. Because if you watched my video, everybody's chasing Dorothy and the other three, and until that final meeting, and then when she melted, they don't attack her, they praise her, and give her what she wants, which was just a broomstick. To show that the Wicked Witch, they got it, for the Wizard of Oz guy. They ain't go after her, so I'm thinking that'd be the same thing. I mean, you gotta understand. Huh?
Do they take the broom from the dead witch and hand it to Dorothy?
Yeah.
Well, maybe you could see that as a passing of the crown.
Well, yeah, they were actually bowing down to her. All hail Dorothy. That was the monkeys and the guards. No, it was funny too. That video, I didn't even know. I never, all these years I've watched that movie, I never noticed that. And me paying attention because I'm trying to get little clips from it. That when it shows her melting, and then one of the little monkeys, the flying monkeys, goes up to her and picks her hat up, and he looks up, he gives a thumbs up and smiles at her, like, yeah, right on, you killed her. You gotta watch it, dude. I was tripping out, and I was like, I never seen that before. He actually the little monkey gives a thumbs up and smiles, and looks up and smiles at Dorothy.
We could take this into a darker direction, though, and think, it's like they're giving up the evil tyrant for the benevolent tyrant,
Okay, who's the benevolent? Dorothy?
Yeah, she could be seen as still the new queen, still the new authority, the new tyrant, but it's just that she's a benevolent one. So, yeah. Everyone's happy.
Yeah, well, she doesn't want that. She just wants to go home. I didn't, because the videos I was looking at, the clips that were on YouTube that I got the my clip from, they only went to a certain point, because I'm thinking after that they offered to do something, or like what shall we do for you? And she said, just be free, be free, or do whatever you want. I just want to go. Kind of like, I just want to go home. I got to get to the Wizard of Oz to go home. That's her whole goal of the whole show. So they offer it to her. No, they offer her their obedience to her, and she rejects it. And so and I don't know if that surpasses what you just said, but but yeah, she had the opportunity to do that. Yes.
Well, yeah, that's just
I couldn't find that part. It's just
a really important aspect of the story. The fact that she doesn't want to be, a new benevolent tyrant or anything like that. But it says more about the monkeys and the people of Oz, that they're so quick to look for their next leader. So I mean, there's like two sides to all of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that's another way of looking at it too, is they're so used to being controlled, being in a tyranny. They're okay with somebody else doing it, as long as it wasn't the Wicked Witch anymore. That's a whole. Yeah, somebody had commented on there saying there's all kinds of stuff. You can go on forever about all the different meanings behind that. He was trying to emphasize the original meaning, which was about the gold and silver and all that stuff, which I've always known about that. I mean, Emerald City, the yellow brick road. And then he said the ruby red slippers were actually silver in the book. They're actually silver slippers. But it all has to do with the monetary stuff. I've known that for as long as I can remember. And not when I was a little kid. When I first watched him when I was a little kid, I can remember I was probably about 7 or 8, and it scared the crap out of me. I was scared of that movie.
Yeah, it was pretty freaky. It was pretty freaky with all the witchcraft and like the house, the tornado and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, being somewhere you didn't know where you were at, and then having to deal with all this crazy stuff.
Speaking of tornadoes,
my favorite character has always been.
Go on.
What's that?
No, go on about Oz. Sorry.
Tornadoes.
No, we could talk about Oz. Your favorite character?
Oh, it was the Cowardly Lion. When he does that song, the King of the Forest song, I love that song. The way he sings that just was crazy. Still to this day, I was trying to I couldn't find a YouTube clip of that. I just wanted to watch it. They didn't have it on there. They had that If I Only Had a Heart and If I Had a Brain. They had those, and then some of the other ones, the Witch Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead. They had those, but I couldn't find it. What did I say it was? Oh, King of the Forest is what it's called. I couldn't find that anywhere. So yeah, the way he sings that is just crazy. Ow. See, Alex says Dorothy was horny and pretty much had a lion, scarecrow, Tin Man, and midgets. Of course, she wanted to go home. Okay.
Damn.
Okay, Test Vision says all them real videos are on YouTube, but they removed the Facebook one. Yeah. The guy with the pulled cues jammed in his eye.
What real ones is Test Vision talking about? Like the beheadings and shit?
Yeah, are you talking about beheadings and stuff like that? Well, yeah, it says Facebook. I'm sorry, it's Facebook one, not Facebook.
I wonder where Test Vision is from. Where are you from, Test Vision? Just what region? Are you UK? Are you American? Probably American. And what are you? East Coast, West Coast, Southeast, Southwest, Northwest?
Just tell us what fucking state you're from. Fuck it. Just fine tune this shit.
Narrowing the search criteria. Yeah, so I'm scared I might get assassinated.
Yeah, you ain't doing nothing to get assassinated. Maybe talk shit to, but not assassinated.
Someone named Your Assassin subscribe to me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, someone, you're assassin.
Hey, guess how many subscribers I have now?
You're over 100. I know that. How far over 100?
100, 111 now. So what? Last time I talked, how many was last? What? 3 or 4 days ago. So 11. That's pretty. That's pretty good. 11 in
Yeah.
4 days. It might not seem like much to the big channels that are getting 50, 60 at a time, 60 an hour. But I haven't. I had none, or just very little, and I'll start getting more and more. So I appreciate that, whoever it is.
It's all because of me. Ha 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 ha. No, I'm just kidding.
I can give you a lot of credit for that because I mean I've been on what this I guess the 7th one now, the 7th hangout. So that's putting me out there big time. I'm not no other channels.
Yeah, you have a presence though. You have a presence in chat, and people go in chats and they see you making comments, good comments and stuff, and they'll go click on your channel. They'll see, oh, he's got videos, and they'll click subscribe. As less they see you like all the time and stuff, and they like what you say, or they don't like what you say, whatever it is. And like, oh, you know, they go and find it, and they subscribe.
Yeah,
just from your own presence too, you know.
Yeah, people know who I am in other chats or other other hangout chats. I just don't go in the other hangouts. So yeah, okay, where are they going? Instantly died.
Oh yeah, some football player who was like went to University of Florida. So I forget his name. He was some like crazed thug. He ended up killing some guy and killed some cops or something. I don't even know. And I guess he committed suicide in jail today.
Oh, Joey, that suicide thing's been popular, huh?
Yeah, they're really pushing that. They're really pushing it. In fact, you know, like I think I've said on here before, me and my girl, we're watching, you know, just for fun, like when we eat our lunch and stuff, and when we only have a few minutes to sit down and, you know, we'll put on Friends. So we're going through the whole series. And dude, it got to a point where it was like 4 episodes in a row where they were making references to suicide. And I was like, boo, the fucking show, every single fucking episode talks about suicide. She's like, not every single episode. I'm like, 4 out of 5 fucking episodes. They reference it. They talk about, oh, I'm gonna kill myself now, or must go kill myself, and like, or he's gonna kill himself, or Phoebe has a mom who killed herself, and she brings that up all the time. It's like that started back then, but I mean, like, it's just funny that show happens to also be doing that. But right now, yeah, that's the big meme. That's a big meme that's getting pushed again. A lot of movies are like celebrating the fucking idea. You know what I'm saying?
Now, do you ever watch that movie Heathers back in the early '90s? Maybe in late '80s.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
Christian Slater and
Winona Ryder.
yeah. that movie was crazy. That shows that how the one they killed the one guy, or no, they killed the girl first. Yeah, they killed the girl first, and then and then they killed the 2 guys, and then it started. You know, everybody's trying to kill themselves to get all this, you know, high school fame. It's like, what the hell? that was pretty wild. It just the meaning behind that was pretty shocking, and that's what's going on right now. I think and that's what it reminded me of. You know, people committing suicide. You know, they see somebody famous commit suicide, and then they want to commit suicide, and now you got people that's not famous committing suicide, and then now look what's happening. So everybody's doing it. It's horrible. He's
Like we've been joined by Issa Mahalski, 77.
I'm just here to sing a song. Quick little ditty about no. How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Yo, VB, what's good, my brother? Oh, he's unmuted. Yo, what's up with like the different hangout links now? You can't use them with the phone and shit.
Oh, I don't know nothing about that. What's going on?
So like if I get like let's say with yours, you sent over me your hangout, and it's like you know, we used to be able to just click the links, or you know, or some of them you can click them and join, and some of them I can't on my phone. don't know what it is.
So I sent the link to your YouTube page, so you have to go on the internet to get to that page, right? You can't just get it from like a phone app, YouTube app,
I
right?
guess, yeah, I get. Well, I can't. I don't know. Yeah, I can go to like I'd have to go to all my mail, so I'm getting it in my mail. But I am getting it. But I think my settings on the phone, I just needed to go to all mail, and then I got it. But then it won't let me go when I click the link.
It won't connect to your Hangouts app.
Yeah, yeah,
You have a Hangout app in your phone, right?
yeah, yeah. It won't. It
Yeah,
won't.
yeah.
And so I wonder. That's why I've been asking people to just fucking link me. You know what I mean? Like on the Hangouts, if you got the link with me.
Yeah, you need to like find me and contact me on there. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? You gotta, because I don't have you on my contacts. If I did, man, I got a bunch of people. I literally click on Hangouts, open up a new conversation. I got like 15 contacts in there. I just copy paste fucking links right there, and that's the best way, because then it shows up on their Hangouts actual app instead of through the website of YouTube, and then you link clicking on a link that's in the YouTube, and then expecting that to interface with the other app on your phone.
Yeah.
But I mean, so what's up with the big suicide meme, bro, that we're seeing pushed everywhere?
I heard you talking about that. That was interesting, actually.
What's up with that, bro?
I don't know, dude. People, it's a great point. I just sent you a link on the Hangouts. Yeah, you made a great point, dude. Like that show Friends, having that chick with the mother. You know what I mean? And because of that, it's like, that's the way they would introduce, you kind of put something like that in the background. And then never mind, dude, in the 70s, bro. You had there's that movie about all the people that get together because their friend killed himself. It's called, the fuck, man?
Not talking about Jonestown.
No, it's like an older movie, man. Like back, it's like, what the fuck, dude? It's one of those, like, I don't know, it's an older person movie, man. I didn't watch it. It's like, hold on. I'll tell you what, bro. And dude, never mind, man. We watched them in school. I watched them in school. There was like after school specials that we watched in school to know about suicide.
Yeah, like why even bring it up? Why even put the idea in people's heads, bro? Right?
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why, like, I mean, that's where people get about drugs, though. It's like, why teach kids about, see, the problem, here's the thing, right? You have inner city shit popping where kids are growing up around all kinds of different shit than kids in different areas. Now, granted, you don't want, like, if they have an inner city platform to teach kids about condom usage because the girls at 12 are having kids, or 13, 14, popping about every 5 fucking seconds, then yeah, they're going to have a program like that for it. Now, you take that same program and want to take it to little old fucking whateverville on a prairie somewhere, and motherfuckers are like, dude, fuck off. It's why we live out on prairies, dick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so... you know what I'm saying?
Shit. Yes, bro, yes.
That's why I live out on a motherfucking prairie. And they're like, well, you should have homeschooled too, bitch. Because we needed funding.
Get your ass out of Topeka, bitch.
They're trying to bring fucking, they're trying to bring inner city to the fucking to the suburbs and then to the country. I mean, shit, man, I got family in the fucking sticks. And the shit is crazy to me that there's fucking meth and heroin in the sticks. How the fuck did that shit get there, dog?
That's all they got to do.
You know what I'm saying? Well, not even that, dude. That and fucking Monster energy drinks. It's the most played out fucking scene I ever seen in my life. And fucking, it's just like, everyone's, I mean, shit, man, I got family that have overdosed. I got kids that are I got family that are coming off the shit. And it's disgusting to me. I fucking detest it. And they bring it in from Afghanistan, and they cut it in half, and they give half to the street, and they give half to the oxycodone users, all you Xanax people, like J40. Please, Jay. It's all right. Calm down.
Here's my theory, bro. Here's my theory. I think I said this with somebody else on some other show a long time ago. I'm not even sure. But, they bring in the heroin back in the 70s, 80s, whatever it gets big, 60s, 70s. They take it away. War on drugs. It becomes like where, you can get it, but like heroin was like one of those things it was really hard to find for a long time for a lot of people. Then all of a sudden, what do you know? Oxys and Roxys blow up. I mean, blow the fuck up. And they get sold illegally. They get distributed out of like Florida pharmacies and shit, just whatever, by the fucking thousands. They end up on the streets.
You're down Florida way, aren't you?
Yeah. So
That's
I mean,
that's a fucking nightmare down there with that shit, right? They had like all the all the doctors giving away all the drugs.
It was 10 years ago. Everybody was fucking hooked, right? And so like fucking so then they put all the Roxys and shit on the street. Everybody fucking gets hooked on the shit. The next thing you know, they do a big crackdown. So all those drugs that everybody was used to having, because they thought, I live in Florida, can't get them. What else is available? Straight to the fucking heroin, bro. And then with the heroin comes all kind of jail sentences and shit too.
I've lost so many. I've lost a couple. I've lost like some people to that shit. And
I've had friends die of it too in my life too.
Yeah, man. You know, I'm sure we all have at this point. It's like, fuck, who hasn't? You know, and that's where really what we're dealing with is like, that's why, you know, it's like, look, man, you're dealing with a broad swath of the population that is trying to hide that they're fucked up at that moment right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because they're on Xanax, they're on oxycodons, all the old people are on drugs. So they're fucking dehydrated and they don't drink water, and then fucking they're just getting like, they're mentally, like Xanax and those anti-anxiety drugs, never mind like the ADD fucking bullshit scene. Like, you know, it's like a party scene. And it's like, and like, because like those scenes have just become like, you've got this mind warped mass population that are just like, we're spinning on a ball.
Yeah, I know. Justin Bernard chimes in and says meth is used by most militaries. So check that out.
It's from Hitler. You know, Hitler was on it, right?
Yeah, I guess so, right?
He was on that shit. It's like, you know, that's what fuels the workday in America. it's fucking meth and Monster energy drinks.
I mean, and it's fucked up because even me, you know, all day I get jacked up on nicotine and caffeine, and then when I come home, you know, I wind down, so to say. You know what I'm saying? So of course, it's a extremely less or much more mild version of doing what Hitler did to get up and get down on a daily basis. But it's you know, it's our culture, really, man.
The problem is they get into like, okay, like, you know, people want to do drugs. Like, I mean, I'm a libertarian when it comes to like, you know, people can do whatever they want. But as soon as you get like, we've gotten to such a point though, you know, where like our population has been like decimated by these drugs. Our families have been destroyed by these drugs. These pharmaceutical fucking agencies have, you know, legally ripped apart this nation. At least the one I'm in.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I agree with that. It's disturbing.
No, dude, it's unfuck. I mean, it's just, if there was ever like fuck a foreign invasion. You know what I mean? Like, this shit's taking out more people than fucking. You know, it's like, you know, like it's like you know, remember, as like Karl Marx said, we're going to use the banks to destroy these countries. And that's what they've done. You know, and it's from the inside out, man.
You know, there's like a weird interplay that happens when you think about it. Okay, so you got the actual crack. Well, I don't know about crack. Let's say you got the meth.
Well, I don't even want to actually. Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't want to make this an expose about drugs either.
No. But
you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like.
No, I want to talk about a social. I want to talk about a social dynamic of our society. I want to talk about how. Okay, so you have the meth, then you have the meth head, and then you have the fucked up society or the culture that the meth head lives in, which facilitates the fact that they can be a meth head. You know, like in the sticks. You know how out there on the boondocks, people don't have nothing to do except meth and energy drinks and whatever.
How about this, bro? I was at a hotel on like a fucking, you know, 38th floor, fucking looking out at New York City, hanging out with fucking rock stars and shit, and was asked there, hey, can you get meth? It's like, the fuck is this? I mean, this shit is everywhere, dude. It's like literally fucking everywhere. Like, it's just like, and the demand for it is everywhere. It's like you know, like Justin said, it's like people are using this shit to literally it's their get up and go. and they get up and go to work and they fucking plow fucking nails into wood or lay sheetrock or fucking, or you know, it's just like, or go into a business and do whatever the fuck they do, and you know what I mean, like
Yeah, but you're talking about functioning addicts.
people yeah, they function. I'm saying, dude, that's what. No, fuck the people. We already see who's out there doing the drugs. Otherwise, I'm talking about the functioning fucking drug addict is not like 80% of the population, and if it's not some fucking drug or whatever like that, it's some kind of like
some fix.
Yeah, it's something, dude. Like, you know, and like, you know, shit, Texas put it well. It's like, you know, from one impulse to the next, and you're lost in this chain of like never being content. And then before you know, it's like, I mean, the different kinds of drugs, like I honestly think like the use of Adderall in the younger ages of kids is something that we're suffering from right now. They cut off something chemically, and we're suffering under the brunt of it.
The discontent. Well, hold on real quick. The discontent that we feel, that's our fucking culture. That discontent that's evolved, like you said, you get locked in a cycle. It's become the culture. So it's really unescapable. In fact, it's completely rewarded. But go on, Vlad.
Well, what I've always said about, I started looking at these prescription drugs about 15 years ago. They're all designed to make everybody a zombie in one way or another. Yep. So I know the whole thing with the whole zombie thing. I mean, there's already zombies here. They're just not. Well, there is a flesh-eating one. Some you see it here and there, but that's those crazy wild drugs they're selling in convenience stores, or head shops. But I'm talking about prescription drugs is making everybody zombies from young to old. So
even more so, we'll never get out of the Gordian knot because of it's like, right now more than ever, like I'm of the, granted, I told Richard Clark I wouldn't talk about law, but I said I couldn't promise.
What the hell is hold on.
the idea is that like you can't.
What is the Gordian knot for my viewers? What is the Gordian knot?
Well, like a Gordian knot is just a problem that if you flip, like for me, I've always just like, I don't know if I can give a proper textbook definition, but something like I've always thought like it's something that you have a difficult, like it's like a knot that you can't untie. It's the Gordian knot, you know what I mean? But it's like if you struggle harder, it's going to make it worse.
No, the Gordian knot, I know from design and 3D stuff and that stuff like that there's no end to it. It's a loop that just keeps going. I mean, it can be in any kind of but there's no end. There's no end. So you're just going around in circles. There's no exit. That's basically what it is. I know of.
And well, it's an extremely difficult or involved problem. I've always thought of Gordian knots as, and I think it's like a Greek story or something, if I'm not mistaken. Or I don't know why. Maybe I'm wrong. But I always felt it's like I'll put it like
I think you're both
a Chinese finger trap. Like the harder you try to pull your fingers apart, the more you're going to get your fingers trapped in the trap.
Yeah, I saw the
same.
And
so like, And I just think like, you start playing into like, okay, you're a zombie, these people that are out there. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, how, it's so easy to get someone to think that, to play into this legal game that they've got us playing into. And then we'll just give up all the goose, like willingly, because they're just what's his name? Aldous Huxley put it well, by radio and by, the people, the mindless masses will love their servitude. It's crazy.
I just wish the shit was legal in my state, bro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, Yeah, I mean,
people out in Colorado and Washington and maybe, I guess, Massachusetts, I guess it's like, what's the word?
What's that?
Legal,
decriminalized and recreational?
Recreational, exactly. I mean, that's the good life, bro. Like, honestly, if that's...
Like, what sucks about those? And you're right, though. Go on, brother. Forgive me cutting you off.
That's all I need. That's all. I don't even drink alcohol. So all I need is that. It's all I need.
Well, dude, all the plants or all the animals in the farms used to eat weed as the fucking food. and then we used to eat it, and then it was in our endocannabinoid system. Breast milk has endocannabinoids in it, or has cannabinoids in it. Forgive me.
But do those cannabinoids from breast milk give an effect on the?
Probably what puts the baby to sleep, motherfucker.
That's why they frown upon breastfeeding too, and they're trying to get all these women
Yeah,
to give their
bro,
babies.
for real, dude.
You're on the
They're
same
all.
page on a lot of stuff there, Issa.
Is that
What's
a
up,
thing
man?
there?
What's that?
Go ahead, Vlad. Sorry.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
No, you were asking him something. Go ahead.
No, I was just letting know we're on the same page with a lot of stuff. The stuff he's been talking about, and I've heard him talk about. I wholeheartedly agree with him. So it's shocking to hear somebody else talk about a lot of stuff that I don't hear and that I've known. And that the formula stuff I've known about for at least 25 years. And then it makes me cringe to know I see these women giving their baby formula. You know, it's basically poison.
Oh, dude, it's so sad too when it's family and you're like, fuck.
Oh yeah, yep.
And they're like, what? You know, you're just like, oh, and they're like, what? You and your conspiracies.
Yeah, no, and they try to.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, tell her, wait till her glands and or whatever starts hurting really fucking bad and shit, you know, or whatever the fuck happens, you know, when she's not doing what she's supposed to.
But the baby perspective is even worse. You know, that and then they entice them by giving it to them for free. You know, through all kinds of programs, so they're thinking they're saving money, and they're not, because later on there's all kinds of health problems with these kids. You know, and then the women has problems too because she didn't do what she needed to do, properly. I mean, a lot of them they do the lactating, the self-lactating just to get the milk out. You know, just give it to the baby. It's like what the hell?
I'm surprised they that's a thing again. I thought that was like back in the 80s and the 90s, women stopped using the artificial stuff because it became like the trend and like the Whole Foods kind of approach to like, oh, you have to do it naturally. That's what you're supposed to do. And like,
what it is, you know what it is, man, is that they don't want to. I sometimes wonder if a lot of women, like, it's like the kids aren't supposed to eat as much as they're being given, and the kids, like, they're crying, so they'd rather feed the kid a bottle. In some ways,
so like both.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, it's weird. It's just like they're. You know, we're torn. Our families have been torn apart in every direction, and like, you know, like even the mothers are, you know, like it's like they don't have time for the kid to fucking, like, it's like they put them in front of TVs. You know, it's like because they're working to give the kid food every day. You know what I mean? It's like this catch-22 of like, you know, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't.
Yep, that's the sad part.
Yeah, and that's why I propose. What I propose talking about some of this legal shit, but I don't like getting too into it because it's like it's so controversial.
Let me ask you some questions, bro. Just real quick. You know, I don't know the panel. They probably don't. I mean, the chat. They don't want to hear you start talking about law stuff. But you know what? That's okay. I mean, we have so much stuff to talk about. But I want to ask you something about. Do you know about copyright stuff?
I mean, the point is, who's copywriting? You know what I mean? Like, because granted, like the citizen is looking for a copyright. The citizen gets nothing. So it's like you're going to go through the whole rigmarole. Go find out what to do. Look online about copyrights because you're asking for a U.S. citizen to go get the copyright. You know what I'm saying? You're asking for this entity to have the right to that thing. Only a government piece of property could get a patent because internally it's the internal check. It's the internal agreements of. You know, U.S. citizen is an employee of the United States, okay? That's an employee, Title V, 552A. So if you're going to ask your boss, hey, can I get rights and make money off of this new thing I got? He's going to be like, well, go through the protocol, and I'll see if it gets through the protocol in the chain of command, and I get, you know what I mean? And then you get the pass from it from somebody licensed here saying that you could build that and use our currency, and you can take that money, and then we're going to fucking tax you on top of that, so... I'm just saying, like, you know, it's like once I for myself broke it down, like I saw the bad guy perspective in the sense of like how they're doing it. You want like now it's not so much of a sting that they got you by the balls at certain fucking avenues because you start understanding how, and then once you understand how, now you understand that there's other things that come along with that. that embrace freedom, in my opinion, and entail
Yeah.
freedom.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Bernard busts in. He says, "Hey, VB and crew, copyright in the music industry is insane. They straight rape the artist." That's what
Right,
he's.
and that's because he's a U.S. citizen looking for you know, it's like, plus also in the music world, copyright, all the like, you know, remember this, man. It's like, this is the beauty. Article 1, Section 10 of the United States Constitution. No state shall impair the obligation of contracts. Meaning, if I got an agreement with you, I can execute it. And I can get agreements. I know how to get agreements with paperwork and all kinds of cool shit. So the point is that if I can get you to agree to something, and you agreed, well, don't be mad if I show up with marshals at your door coming to get your car. You know what I mean? Because like, that's just, it's not my, it's like just as much as it's not, it's like, you know, just as much as a record exec is going to look down on the fucking rap artist who got screwed out of the fucking money, you know what I mean? And say, well, you know, kid, it's part of the game. Just the same way you're going to look at them, you know what I mean? Like, God knows. It's just, hey, it's not personal, it's business, dude.
I guess so. And art is fleeting, anyways.
Right, but look at I'm just saying, once you look at the field that you're playing in, you're dealing with I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying that, hey, look, recognize what it is so you can understand what's going on when you're doing it. Because if you, for some reason, think, well, I put it in first, now your emotions are hurt, and now you're not going to understand the business side of things. It's like in court, you know what I mean? People say that, you know, the lawyer fucking gets you to, you know, gets you fucking up. And people look to the judge and be like, what the fuck? And he goes, dude, it's like basketball. You're allowed, you know, it's like somebody stealing the ball from you in basketball, and you go to the referee and say, he stole the ball from me. The referee's going to be like, dude, you're playing basketball. It's going to be like a part of his highlight reel. And you're over here whining about it.
That's crazy shit, man. Man.
Yeah, that's why, you know, that's why I think that's my, like, I have the most impetus to teach that if I could, you know what I mean? But I don't also, I'm wary of it. But go on, brother.
Let's do a total flip subject. I want to get back to what I was talking about with Vlad earlier. I want to hear his input, and then I want to hear Issa's in any of Issa's instances. So Vlad, what's your tornado situation up in your region where you live?
Right now it's calm as far as I know. I haven't heard anything. My sister is telling me probably in a month or so it's going to be tornado season, and they're at their property in Mississippi. They're getting ready for it over there, you know, buttoning down and stuff and making sure that, because they got a lot of concrete equipment and stuff like that. So, you know, there's stuff that can go flying around, and it's not all heavy stuff. You know, there's light stuff involved too. So they're just trying to get everything ready because they know what they've been here. I've only been here for a year and a half. There was a hurricane, probably I think it was probably 4 months after I got here, and that was in 2015. The end of 2015. And I was actually now at the Dolphin Island, and right in the thick of it, and it was pretty bad. I got some video of it, but it's just so jittery because I mean I'm trying to stand still, and that wind was just going, and that ocean was coming up. I mean, it was swelling up bad. It was scary.
You took film of this hurricane?
Not the actual hurricane, but the effects of it from being surrounding. I said, but you can see the water and see how far it comes up. You can see the water come up, you know, because all the winds and stuff. It was in wind, but it wasn't in the physical hurricane, because it's probably about maybe 15 miles away from where I was at in Dolphin Island. But they put
that shit can be bad. 15 miles out, that can be pretty vicious too.
Oh yeah. It was pretty hardcore, and so they put a thing out, an alert there in Dolphin Island, and to everybody to evacuate. And here I am going there and hanging out at the beach, and there's nobody around.
You didn't get harassed?
No, there was nobody there.
Damn.
Yeah, my girlfriend, she's like, "Are you sure you want to be here?" She's like, "This is scaring me." So we ended up leaving. But I was there for about a half hour, and I had one of those rain ponchos on. That rain was hitting that sucker so hard it was stinging like hell, and that was through a jacket I had underneath. Because it was raining too. It wasn't in the actual hurricane. It was off in the distance.
What was the worst kind of weather phenomena you'd get out in Arizona?
It would be hardcore thunderstorms. Hardcore. I'm gonna because if anybody knows Phoenix, it's pretty much surrounded by mountains. I mean, they're far by 40, 50-mile radius of mountains on all north, south, east, and west. So when the rain comes in, and hardest why it never rains. And when it does, those clouds have got to come up over those mountains. All the stuff that's involved with how clouds work. And when they get over top of them mountains in any direction, it comes down hard. So it's like a really hardcore thunderstorms. And then there's they call them haboobs, which is the dust storms that are probably a mile high and 20 miles wide, and it just wipes the whole town out. And that just turns everything like orange. I have video of that. I'll have to post that video. That I have video of. It's you can see it coming up, and then once it gets closer, we evacuate. We get in the car.
That'd be some good video. That'd be some good video right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm gonna have to edit a little bit because it's about a 20-minute video. Because I'm just waiting for it because it goes real slow. And you can see it from a distance. It's really, really huge. I mean, it's massive. If you compare the buildings in the distance, and then you see how high this thing is. It's just a big dust cloud or dust storm coming in. So that's the most intense I've seen in Phoenix.
What about you, Issa? How's your tornado? What's your situation? What do you got to worry about over there?
Well, I think we have an incoming front of a fucking exercise that they're doing in Jersey for a military fucking false flag event. That's pretty much our fucking local tornado as of right now, man. I'm glad ODD got on it because that shit is pretty wild, man. I'm glad I got wind of it earlier too. I went on PMars about it, and then ODD popped that video off, so we should spread that shit around. Yeah, but I'm gonna talk about that Gotham Shield shit.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's up.
I mean, I want to see what's Vlad's take on the Gotham Shield shit.
On the what?
The stuff Issa was just talking about.
But what was it again? I didn't hear.
They got this thing called it's Gotham Shield. It's like it's a false flag event, not a false flag event. It's a military exercise that's going on in around the New York area.
I heard you talking about this on PMar's show.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, ODD just dropped the video. Go check them out, man.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah. That has all the links. I got some of the, I have pretty much same info. ODD drops. So yeah, man, it's some training exercise. It's going to be going on, I guess, April 25th, and it's here actually I got like a little bit of a update on it earlier. So check this shit out. It's called Gotham Shield. It's a FEMA-led exercise, April 18th to May 5th. It says linked to several of the DoD. So it's going to be 4 nuclear devices, 2 of which are rendered safe during the DoD Vital Archer exercise. 1 successful 10K detonation in the New York City, New Jersey area, and 1 smaller detonation on the U.S.-Canadian border. So there's something going down.
What's the dates?
It says it's the 18th through the 5th, and it's the one piece that I had seen before. I'll tell you right now, it is for April 25th, and it's from a newsletter from March 27th, 2017, for these Eastern Region Helicopter Council. And it's Tuesday, the 25th, 17, at 8 o'clock in the morning. The Gotham Shield exercise will take place at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This exercise will simulate a large-scale terrorist attack on the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area, with MetLife Stadium serving as the triage collection point for victims and emergency response personnel. This will be a large-scale event with numerous federal, state, and county and local agencies participating. It should be very similar in size and scope to the Operation Red Zone drill of 2011. Yep.
Bro, how far inland is MetLife Stadium?
It's East Rutherford. It's not far inland much at all. I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's not like driving probably pretty far, but you know what I'm saying? It's not that far.
Yeah, definitely. But so I mean, it's going to be helicopter exercises.
Well,
I mean,
I think this was just a newsletter informing people that I guess on the 25th there's something going on, and if the helicopter agencies wanted to help, then they could. You know, if you're like you had an independent, helicopter school or something, and you wanted to offer your services or try to participate and be ready in the community awareness of what could happen, God forbid, you know what I mean? Because that's really that's the cover. Or I don't want to say cover because that's what they're saying they're doing. They're doing an exercise. I mean, it doesn't say pretending, but it says there's 4 bombs. 2 are going to be like exercised to the point where they figure them out, and then 2 of them are going to be like they went off. So it's like a disaster scenario preparation operation. You know what I mean? Routine exercise, whatever. It's just so happens that same kind of shit was going on when 9/11 happened, and people get shook.
anything that happens in those days between the 18th and the 5th, April 18th and May 5th,
Is sus.
major sus, bro.
Yep. But I'm saying that's why, that's why we talk about it. It's because God willing, let everyone know, blow the cover off. You know what I mean? I don't know what to say. It's like, I don't even know if you could. Especially something this large scale.
Vlad, what are you thinking on this?
I'm still here. It's I don't know what to think. It's just crazy how they're doing all this. I mean, I remember when they did this stuff back in Phoenix, probably about 10, 15 years ago. They were doing those. Well, I can't remember what they were calling them. Some kind of emergency. It was FEMA stuff. It was like some kind of emergency exercise. So in case a bomb happened or nuclear stuff. It was back with the anthrax stuff. Remember the anthrax stuff?
Yeah.
It was back then. They were doing that stuff in Phoenix, downtown Phoenix. There's a few parks down there that they used to do that stuff at, or certain parts of the city that they would have everybody out. They would have it on the news, and then a couple days later, I never got to see it up in person, but they would show it on the news. People laying out like they were injured and showing how they would, take tend to them and stuff like that. The medical teams. They say it was just an exercise in how to do that. It's like, huh. That was 15 years ago. I remember that. So it's just crazy that it's just escalating. That means something's going to happen in New York, huh?
Well,
they're going to use all.
It doesn't mean it. I look at it like this: like the more we talk about it, the more it's like takes away the it's like moving in for the kill with or like going to like kiss a girl, and they like see it coming and like fucking shoo you away, like that kind of thing. Like it's like like they're like, oh hey, sorry, I was just it's like one of those routines. Like I was
They give you that shoulder and say, oh hey, whatever, and they take their friend to the bathroom.
Yeah, it's like yeah, exactly. Or like it's like the vampires lurking in, and it's like yeah, exactly. And they're like, hey, what are you doing? And it's like, oh, nothing. I was just. So that's what we're looking for here, because I mean, I don't know, bro. We know what they want to do. They want to roll the UN through here.
I know. So, bro, I seen you in there at war with not at war because you're so chill, but chilling with the fucking villains over there, just like I do, and just like Vlad does sometimes, because we can go wherever the fuck we want, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm an individual, so is Vlad, so are you. So you'll see our asses anywhere, right? Isn't that the thing?
Well, yeah, I mean, that is the thing. Plus, it's also like this, man. Like, I care enough about like what I would like to think is our community of fucking people out here is that like, like if we lose communication with one another, then that's when the shit really breaks apart. Because when communication is lost is when now you can't have the opportunity to disrupt a misunderstanding can create problems, and like nobody really wants problems. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants.
Some people do. Some people do. Sometimes it looks like.
No, they want attention. Is what they want, man.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
true. I agree with that. You said.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, because ultimately, man, like behind every, you know, tough guy out there is a little sweetheart. You know what I mean?
There's
It'll
a
fuck-
yeah.
you
There's
know
a
what
little
I'm saying?
validation. Yeah, there's a little validation boy in everybody, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I like how Bob Marley put it, man. It's like that. I'm gonna get my guitar real quick for still. No, I'm kidding. What do you call it? Like each, you know, every man, you know, the biggest man you ever did see was once a baby. You know, it's huge to me. I always think of that, like especially in regards to whatever.
Yeah, definitely,
It's
definitely.
just, you know, it's like think of all the big bad tough guys, you know, that are like, you know, my socks don't match. You know what I'm saying? Like doing their hair, fucking. You know what I'm saying? Didn't cut the beard right. Some little bitch ass shit. We're all bitches. It's all good.
Yeah, I know. But I see you in there warring away with everybody,
I
and I
fucking
love
know.
it. You know.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, dude, it's like
What are these
it's
fools on now, though? What are these fools on now, though? They're on some shit about. They're just basically fighting me about how you can't use the sky. It seems like half the time that's all that they end up really talking about is some shit that like the basic points that a lot of people are just bringing back. You know, just basic points.
yeah, it's just you know,
Right? You know what I'm saying? No, I'm saying like the people that we really are, I guess, in the trenches with, I guess, you know, because they're the only people that are really still stubborn on this and trying to proactively put shows out there that go against us or against people like me, I guess, not necessarily against you, but you know,
well, yo, it's you know, you've taken a, you know, anyone out here has taken a stance and dealt with like, you know, the brunt, or you know what I mean, of these gentlemen, you know, the guys. It's like, I don't know. I look at it like this. To me, it's like funny rules, and it's like, you know, that's it. It's like that's the rules of the internet for me. It's like, you know, we're funny rules at the same time as like, you know, I have my own ethics of how I deal with people. Like I always try to be respectful, but I also I enjoy the creativity of people. And so like when certain people offer that creativity, I you know, I embrace it because I don't know. To me, that's the more, you know, it's just I get a kick out of it, man. You know, I like that. Like no, like I fucking love it. There's like as a diehard as much as a diehard flat earth I am, I love it when Timmy is just like, nah, dude, it's a ball. I just think that is fucking hilarious to me. Like when someone loses their shit because he says, nah, no, be wrong because it's a ball. I just think that's fucking hilarious to me. And
yeah,
if people can't like, you know, realize why that's funny, I don't know why. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, you know, that shit's fucking hilarious to me. Because, like, I'll tell you right now, I don't, you know, people stop taking everyone for face value. You don't know who's a flat earther either. I mean, shit, like I was talking about this the other day. It's like, imagine like you just got so sick of flat earth. You're just like, man, I mean, I could almost see like, you know, and granted, I wouldn't do it to the peoples, but like I could see and I understand the impetus to be a flat earther maybe and just be like, you know what, dude, fuck everybody. I'm just gonna come out here as a baller. Like just fuck it. Because it's funny when people get too serious about this shit. That's why Dick Earth is there.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, dude, don't get too fucking serious about all this, bro. It's not gonna fucking like you're not gonna wake up tomorrow and the world's like, you know, I mean, granted, like your mind is gonna be thinking about beautiful things, but even when you get done, I think with that whole trip of flat Earth, you're still gonna have to wake up in your bed in the morning and fucking figure out what's going on in the world,
well, you know,
in your world, you know.
well, you know, I could see that everybody has everyone who thinks the earth could be flat, which you know, that's you and
Yeah.
me. Yeah. And a lot of people we associate with.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, damn it, bro. I lost what I was going to fucking say, man. Sorry.
Yeah, good. I mean, shoot, I look at it like,
Oh, no. Check it out. Here's what I was going to say. All of us, okay, we have our ways. We have our ways of doing things. We have our ways of putting our media out there to express the fact that we think the earth is flat or could be flat. Okay. And, you just have a unique, interesting kung fu. That's all it is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I like that.
And the comedy, the comedy, the fact that you have that sense of humor and you appreciate it and use it very wisely. That's your thing. And the thing is, a lot more can get done that way than some other people's approaches.
Yeah, man.
A lot more, a lot. It's a very successful approach to conversation.
Yeah, that's
with
what
people.
I look at it like, dude, what we don't understand is at the end of the day, these are the people whose minds we have to change on the grander scheme of things anyway. Like, these are the ideas and the arguments that we're going to face. You know what I mean? So it's like, what better way to deal with it like now? It's like when I heard Eddie Bravo on Rogan yesterday. He had so many opportunities. Like, I don't know. I feel like once you get used to this argument, or not arguing, because I don't want to call it arguing. It's like it was something that I learned about law. Once you conditionally accept all offers and discharge the claims, you're left with, you rebut all of their presumptions. And once all of their presumptions are rebutted, in a certain way, like in a reasonable conversation, not with the expert trolls out here. In a reasonable conversation with someone, though, it becomes apparent pretty quick who's got a beat on what's going on. These guys out here are like experts at trolling this shit.
Well, here's the thing. I
love them for it, But.
Well, here's the thing. I was fucking with Timmy and P Mars' shit earlier, and or he was fucking with me, however you want to see it. And we were on this whole idea about how you gotta, and Gem Panda was there, and he was saying you gotta accept the experts, you gotta consult with experts, and look at the mainstream and see if they concur with each other, and I'm just like, the experts on what,
Well, that's all good because you learn how to like. It's like it comes to a certain point where it's like the reasonable discussion time is almost out the window, and that's where it's like. That's where it can be fun and it can be torture in that arena once you get past all the facts. That's why I think the best thing when you're talking to people that may not know is just or people that are staunch about it, is ask them, hey man, do you know what the circumference of the earth is? No? Then why are we having this talk? Like, why do you think you could talk to me about this? Seriously, why would you think you have any grounds to argue if I know more than you already? What makes you think you can freaking change my mind? And learning how to ask the appropriate questions, and then that's why it's conditional acceptance. Rebut the presumption, man. They're saying, well, how does the sun work? Well, do you know the circumference of the earth? Well, hold up. Before we start talking about how the sun might fucking work. Because you're going to sound like a lunatic to these people trying to explain it all right away. I mean, I do. I don't give a fuck at times. But I'm just saying, if we're with our friends and our family, that vibes, where you're like, yo, look, I'm really into this. I want you to fucking understand it and make your own decision. But I want to talk about it. This is something I'm into. If you want to know about me, this is what I'm into, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So when that's the case, it's like, you want to make it it's like, look, hey. Or for my friends, I've always given them little bits of info here, there, and the other thing. And like we said before, brother, it's like, there's that. And I thank God for it, is, we're ahead of our time, man. I'm not too, there's people ahead of me. I'm just saying, I feel a little bit ahead of my time. Or I catch wind of some of this shit before my people do. The people that I care about anyway, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about any of this shit.
Yeah, I want to hear Vlad's take. On that.
Yeah, man. Telling family.
On what part? I kind of got lost in all that.
Well, the idea that being ahead of the time, and how it interplays with family and all that stuff.
flat Earth information or just everything in general?
Maybe both. Maybe both.
I'm talking about like on a personal level, or just all of us combined, all in all this.
I don't know. I was hoping.
Like all of it, even because I'm thinking like I know with like certain friends and family, not people out here and stuff so much, but people out like in my life that are my family that maybe are like, how are you doing? What you get to talking to around a campfire or something you're just with, and you're like, hey, you ever thought of this? People you care about. That's all.
Oh yeah. I try to talk to everybody as much as I can. Some of them are open to it, and some just kind of look at me funny. So and nobody's really rejected it wholeheartedly, like at a negative way.
Right? That's what I've come across, man. They're just like they don't know enough, and they know they don't. That's what tells you people out here fighting for it are retarded. Go on, brother.
Yeah, so it just makes you wonder about these people that are fighting for it tooth and nail. The globe aspect of it, and why they're doing that. It's like where are they at in their life that they're consuming themselves with that to not even take a look at it. And I feel the ones that said they have never really truly have, because if they did, they wouldn't feel the way they do. This and then reject it is just that's mind-boggling to me.
Well, back to what I was getting at. When it comes to how we're in the trenches with these people, they were saying to me, this is what I was trying to get at. I lost my train of thought, but they were saying, oh, you got to concur with all these experts. And I was like, listen, dude, okay, these top experts that you're talking about, you, Tim, you know more than those people do. So I'd rather just talk to you about it. So how about that,
Yeah, I mean, it kind of.
That's what I'm saying. Like, those guys do actually, they
actually,
go and looked up all this Earth shit. So they probably, and they're the ones that are most stubborn about it. So how about I don't go to Neil deGrasse Tyson or whoever the fuck you say to go to, some professor. How about you and me talk this out with what you know? Because you and me are the ones having an argument. They always want to default and throw it back on the system. No, the whole system is right, and I'm just a wee little representative of it. Well, then you go and you can be one of your little commie little bastards that's part of some system, and your little brown shirt that's up in my face so that you can beat me into believing in your system's lies and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, that part of it.
Well, no, I'm just saying this for myself. This is my experience right here. But yeah,
I can understand.
And they want to use that, and it's like, no, dude. How about the individual people have this out because I believe the Earth is flat? So you convince me.
Yeah.
Because that's the end of that.
I agree with that. I didn't. Yeah, that part of it, I totally understand that, and I can see that and experience that. They're one to always like people want to go to experience. You have a degree. Where's your degree? You'd be talking about. It's like, what do you need the degree? All you do is just read on this and understand it, and to see what's going on and know it's not right. It's not right.
Well, I think that's the biggest actual problem that these people are facing is that they don't have the ability to stand alone. And I've said it. It's weird. Like I almost feel like anyone who is like a bad kid in school, it's like knows about being the guy who's got to stand alone. Like you're like, oh, yep, It's like this guy, that, or whatever, right? So like you learn how to stand alone, and these guys have never. And I don't want to equate it to being bad in school because I did quite well in school. But my point being is that I don't want to you need to make that decision for yourself. You have to trust your own inclination to doing it and to seeing something. And if you can't do that, it's like that's what I think most people are suffering from. They cannot say they won't step outside the box. Or they won't even when it comes to talking to people.
I know. I'm compelled to equate flat Earth knowledge with I know Vlad doesn't even know what I'm talking about. I don't know if you know, Issa, but I'm just compelled to compare this to a inner circle fucking Jedi thing, and then maybe even who's the Sith that are among the Jedi, and who's the inner circle of Jedis that are among all the bigger Jedi groups and shit. It's just kind of weird, bro. It's funny.
Yeah, it is a wild. Well, you know what it is though is that all you can do is push wherever you are to that next thing. You know what I mean? Like that's the power, I think, of the force, if you will. But any
Yeah.
one of us has the capacity to be the, special agent, super secret ninja.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, we have to think that we can. Like I've said before, it's like, every guy out there thinks his right hand is going to fucking level people. I think we talked about this last time I was here too. Like every guy's got that think, like, oh, you fuck with me, I'm going to hit you with my right hand and you're going down. Lights out for you, buddy. You know what I mean? But like, now that's good that we all have that input, that impulse. But at the same time, it's better to go train. That's something I've said before. But like, it's that idea that you do think that you could win. You have to think you can win before you might even develop a way to win.
Exactly. We can go out here and so the thing is, here's my thing. I just want the idea that the earth could be flat to spread rapidly, okay? And I feel like word of mouth is much more personal approach, and it makes the idea, when someone is told, it's better for them to like know somebody that also knows about it and do their own research and stuff. But you know what I'm saying? So it's better than like just finding it on your own. Because if you know someone else that already knows a lot about it, it's just better that way. It becomes more personalized. And I want that idea to spread. So I feel like the people that are the best ones to talk to are going to be the best speakers on the other side of people we know. Because they're probably parallels to how we are in our lives with people, where we live and stuff like that. And the vibe that we send out, in our life. Like our essence and shit, So I feel like if we talk to those people, they're going to be the ones, because they're like us, they're going to be the ones that if we can change their minds and show them how they're just being stubborn and how their skepticism of flat earth is just fake, they're just faking their skepticism, I think. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. So when they finally come around and just get with the program, because we're all fucking friends here, really, then they can continue on spreading the good word, as far as I'm concerned. I know it sounds real dogmatic, and I know it sounds real fucking religious, but
No. Look at it like this, though. I look at it like this. If you can handle those brothers in that, in that arena, in their arena, then it's like, then it developed, like, you're strong. I look at it like it makes us stronger to go into the real world. Now, also, with that said, if you can change one of their minds, really, like internally, to, you know what I mean? I don't know if they would ever vocally admit it or whatever, but if internally their mind is changed, you know what I mean? Like, then, like, then you could change, everyone can change. If they could change, everyone, you know what I'm saying, Dred? Like, it's like if that guy gets it, then fucking everyone else gets it. Or it has the potential. Go on, brother.
Yeah, there's at least hope for other people when there's the ones that are hardcore can see it.
Right. And that's where it's interesting right now. There's that you've got a looming debate, which I hope happens, because Bro Sanchez is going to destroy Sarah Seti or whatever. Yeah. I don't know if you guys seen any of that with You've Been Exposed. You've Been Exposed went in and did a video on that guy Seti. You know what Seti is, or what I'm talking about?
Not well. I think I'm not sure. Who is that?
I don't know. I think he was somebody to do with the Black Lives Matter movement, and he was. I know they had a fundraiser, and then You've Been Exposed to the video where he was like trying to pretend like he was on the phone with somebody while he was on a live hangout, and then the phone started ringing. It was kind of funny. And so this guy, he also had, like, he tried to take he got a bunch of people to send him money and shit, and then was mad at him because it wasn't enough.
Damn.
And then what do you call it? So, like, that's as far as I know about the guy. But and he did the Black Lives Matter movement shit, like, so Soros, all like that, I think. So, like, the bro, he did a video last night coming out saying that he thought that flat Earth is stupid, and he literally pulled out a map and said, "Look, there's nothing underneath it. Where's all the stuff for the volcanoes come from?" retarded. So,
That's crazy.
yeah, he thought it was funny, like he was trolling somehow. But he so he did that video, and then this cat, Bro Sanchez, who's fucking like a flat Earth brother. He's out there rocking and rolling, and he was like, "What's up?" He's like, "Let's do a debate, bro." So it was nice. This is really cool to see, and I would love for that debate to pop off. That'd be great, because I think both of them have like 30,000 to 50,000 followers each. One of them, like I know Bro Sanchez is like 30 something, and Homeboy's got the bunch. I don't know how much. I don't even know. I don't give a shit. But I know if
That's crazy. I mean, that's you get those kind of numbers when you cover like mainstream stuff, just like left wing, right wing paradigm,
yeah,
these
yeah, straight up.
like race trigger stuff. I don't know if those guys center on race stuff.
Well, that's what makes
Do
me
they?
think it's like what. Well, no, what I don't know. I don't know if Bro Sanchez does. He seems pretty fucking rock and roll, just nice guy, or regular dude, and so or cool dude. So like and a teacher. So what's it though? So like yeah, those cats. It's like preacher man of old. Like it's like they're gonna come and take your money and leave you assed out, so he can live on tithes. You know what I'm saying, or whatever it is. So that's how I kind of said all that shit. But you're right though. You know what I mean? We could start up. That's what people are worried about with the flat Earth shit. Shit, all you got to do is come in. I mean, that's what's done. They divided it in half. You got one side flat Earth, one side not flat Earth, and then fucking, you know what I mean? Like, it's all about breaking them up, and then breaking them up further and further. That's why it's upsets me to see everyone at each other's throat as the last couple of days too.
It goes in cycles, bro. Because like I was saying, everybody's fucking friends here, and whether they like it or not, they're my fucking friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like to just discuss stuff with people, not arguing and stuff like that. That's on either side.
What's that, brother?
I said I would like to just be able to discuss things with everybody, on both sides, just to be able to figure it all out.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gotten ideas about things just from just listening to Globers. Like, not that that's going to convince me as a globe, but to how to use it to prove it's flat.
Yeah, exactly, man.
I knew about it before, but the dynamic of how I heard it recently and changed the way I thought about how going about a certain thing. So I'm interested in just listening to what they have to say. Just to be able to utilize it that way.
Yeah. Well, though, it's the problem with that though is over there they're not even consistent about what they have said. They're like ludicrous about some of that shit. I actually that's what makes me realize it's like it makes me just think everyone's
You're talking about EE?
yeah, like all that crew. It's like they're gonna just be so ludicrous and funny. It kind of cracks me up. But I can't tune in for long. It's so annoying. And
So Issa,
what's up?
why don't you give me your experiences so far with the Candy Franklin channel?
Candy Franklin. So far, I've been good. I got the link the other day. They're cool. They're all right with me. I like Sharon. Sharon's cute. And then there's Karen is cool. There's a couple good people over there. I got no problems. You know what I mean?
I only know of the channel because I was watching a P Mars live stream one night and he was simulcasting them. And I was like, well, who the fuck are these people? So I went and I found that channel and it was like a group of just people and they were just talking about whatever. And then at one point I thought I saw you on there, right?
Yeah, I hop in. I'll try to hop in on any flat Earth shit. Cause I like in my own little way, I like, I just like, I don't know. Shit, I like seeing who the people are. Especially when I'm out here, if I'm just going to surf and shit was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they seem cool. What's your opinion, brother?
Well, I mean, I only saw just a limited amount and it was just, there was some blonde haired girl. I guess that's Candy.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And she was just on there talking and people were trolling. I think it was P Mars was trolling her. I think that's all I saw. Maybe one other time.
Yeah, pretty cool. They're like, I mean, it reminds me of it's just regular people getting into fucking flat Earth, in my opinion. You know, it's
Yeah.
and like learning how to fucking host a show and being sniped and and all that fun stuff.
Living the dream.
Yeah, living the dream, dog. Flat Earth fucking dream, dude. Welcome to Flat Earth. It's like,
Yeah, we got our own channels and shit, bro. All three of us.
it's funny. Like I said to like even like when SETI was, I just felt like this. Like SETI's over there like yelling about Flat Earth, and I just put in the chat. I was like, "Welcome to Flat Earth," like because now he's like, if you go look up any of this ridiculous shit you're talking right now, because like this is what everyone does. It's like what he did was if someone said Flat Earth, he turned on the video and then just went nuts, like not knowing anything. And, like, it's just so funny. But yeah, I always feel like there's such a level of. I'm so thankful that I came into it the way that I did. You know what I mean? Like I'm cool with everybody because of it. I feel like,
Someone says it's Earth Discussions 2.0 now.
That's still erectile dysfunction. ED, really? You didn't fucking see that coming. No pun intended.
So yeah, what's one of your favorite? Just since you're on my show, what's one of your favorite logical fucking conundrums that you find the most entertaining that Globers still try to use? For me, it was the whole thing about how no matter how high up they seem to get the footage, like Vlad helped explain on my point that I was trying to make, you just goes out further and further. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and you never see that curve. And then, but they say that you never see that curve because it's too big. But then when you're on the beach and you see the boat go over the horizon, magically not too big.
Yeah,
Like,
it always
that's one of my favorite fallacies.
Well, that's why I've been bringing up to the forefront that in navigation they treat 600 nautical miles, which is 690 miles, as flat. So if you're going to make a 600 nautical mile journey, you're going to plot it as though everything is flat. So how can you have flatness 600 miles, but you can see the curvature at the beach? Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck, as the Scottish would say. Get the fuck.
Because like literally, think about it. You'd have a whole different star system above your head at like 10, like 50, like what, 200 miles away. You'd have a whole nother star system over your head at that curve ratio, right? Like you're looking through the curve of the ball. It would be like you'd have a fucking whole nother star system above your fucking head, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like you'd be like literally like you'd turn around and you could see, like let's say, I mean, I was trying to think of the way to explain it, and these guys couldn't get it, and it didn't help me because they weren't going to help, right? So like, I'm like thinking to myself, like, okay, 600 miles, dude. Oh yeah, check this shit out. At zero level, right? Because you're figuring map on a plane, like 600 miles plane trigonometry, right? So there's no elevation. The curvature of the Earth is something like 360,000 feet. Like, would have been the drop off on the Google calculator, right? From zero level. So like you would have been like, nobody would map, or there's no way that you could do that, in my opinion. Now, granted, they made some solid points because they were saying that, hey, like as long as your bearing was one particular, like, they were trying to get into this. I mean, there's some certain, some ways that I was explaining it that didn't maybe correlate. But if you can't say that you're going to treat 600 miles as flat, and then you can see the curve at the beach.
Where do you get this figure from? I mean, officially.
It's basic plain sailing 101 navigation. I got, there's some videos on it, and I've also, like, if you look up plain sailing navigation, one of the first videos has it up. And if you have it, and also I was looking up books. Because like I've been looking up, I was, it's like trying to learn how to really use a sextant. So it's kind of just one of those things where it's something I came across learning about navigation.
So check this out. Tom Foolery of the International Space Stage, welcome, says VB. It's because in a 260 direction, maybe he means 360, but in a 260 direction, the horizon has dropped equal, so you don't see a curve left to right. Yeah, in a 360 direction, the horizon is dropped equal, so you don't see a curve left to right.
Sounds pretty derpa.
I mean, I could see that argument maybe, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Big enough sometimes, and sometimes it's not big enough. It's just, what's it going to be? You can't have your cake and eat it too, guys.
Yeah, seriously. And you can see like the drop off 4 miles out. It's just like that alone to me, it was one of the killers because it was like, I was just like, wait a minute. I could see buildings far away. I was like, this shit wouldn't be like possible.
Yeah. So,
one of the things I was pointing out too is, they're always wanting to say about the distance, and they don't realize that this, from what we're told, what the size is, you have to go by that. That's all we have. What we have to go on. So once you start a starting point, that curve starts immediately. If you look at any kind of ball or sphere, and you look at a point, like put something flat against it, and then look where it starts dropping off the curve, it happens immediately, and it happens really fast. If it was flat, a globe, you would be able to see that no matter what. It would just be there because it happens quickly. That's one of the things I've always emphasized on, and they just don't get it and say that's not how it works. I'm like, that's how it works.
Yeah, the damn curvature exponentiates away from you in all directions. I'm talking about it in all directions around you. Curvature is supposed to be exponentiating, bro. So I mean,
yeah, and you would be able to see that
from anywhere you are, even on an oblate spheroid or a sphere, right?
Yeah. I'm looking at one of those exercise balls right now, and it's probably 2 foot. It's probably 2.5 foot in size right now. And just looking at it, it's just, you can see that curve drop. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, a little one of those little bouncy balls or a gumball, whatever. Immediately, no matter how big or small it is, that's the whole point of it. And then you got our measurements we're given. That's all we got to go on. I mean, how else are we supposed to look at it? And our reality is telling us something totally different.
Yeah, exactly. Let me ask both of you guys, what's your latest, hot topic in flat Earth? What's your latest new point? Your new ammo? What's your newest ammo?
You can go first, Isa.
What's your latest and greatest?
Forgive me, what was that, brother?
I'm just saying, when it comes to flat Earth and telling people about how the Earth is maybe flat or could be flat, what's your latest and greatest? What's your hottest ammo that you got going right now?
97% dark matter and dark energy.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I mean, just like, it's like, it's like, well, okay, how come the Earth's a ball? Well, because of gravity. Okay. Well, if gravity's legit, then you're trying to tell me that 97% of everything that fucking is out there is dark matter or dark energy, which you've never detected. So how the fuck, like, I mean, it's kind of one of those things for me where it's like, like, would you make a bet on a team that you didn't even know the name of the team, the sport that it was playing in, how good it was? You know what I mean? But like, you got like the middle initial. Like, a letter from one of the players that are like, all you have is one letter, you know what I mean? And you're going to bet one letter. You don't even know if it's a guy on your team or their team. It's just fucking, you got a letter and you're going to make a bet on that. You're going to base your cosmological outlook on that, and everything looks flat as fuck. And you want me to believe something that goes against everything that I perceive in my life, just like every time that society told me not to go talk to like a beautiful girl, you know what I mean? Or like my friends were pussies or this, that, the other thing, or somebody didn't get it of how fucking Like, you know what I mean? Just the inspiration to walk up to someone and fucking change both of your worlds or something like that. If you have never done that, you don't get it, in my opinion. Like, you don't fucking get it because you cower down to the fucking opinion of the people around you. And because we do that, we lose parts of ourselves.
Yeah. But what you were talking about there a second ago also, I was talking about that with Vlad here earlier. And I was talking about how, okay, so we got empty space. And so is gravity supposed to be some kind of physical matter, some kind of particle? And I guess they're supposed to be gravitons. Are those particles or are they not particles? I don't know. Gravitrons, whatever the fuck they want to call them. And does that shit exist in the void of space? And is space really even fucking space because there is objects in it?
Right. And this is what these fucking hipster scientists are trying to fucking discuss. And it sounds fucking stupid as fuck to me, dude. It sounds like a bunch of fucking
land.
Yeah,
it sounds like fan fiction, bro. It's fan fiction. It's fucking sci-fi.
Yeah, it's like yeah, it's it is it's like reading a book to learn about martial arts. And then like you read a whole book and you're like, I'm a black belt now. That's what it's like.
The skeptics would say, "Oh, what you're saying? They would say, what you're some kind of badass kung fu master, and that you observe fucking the Earth empirically this way, that way. You've done all the experiments. You've been out in outer space, all that shit. That's what they would say back to you.
Right, and I would say I've probably done more experiments than you, right? You know what I mean? Like, because dude, when was the last time like they left their house? Like, stop. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like the fucking the only one that's out there that actually is more rock and roll than everyone else is probably Tim. He's probably more earthy than most flat earthers. Even he's like in the middle of a brook, barefoot, just hanging out. Like like yeah, dude, in a brook, bro. Like fucking, I love that fucking dude. Like if you're really in the earth and shit, and you're with the earth, like regardless of the way you think that she's shaped, fucking whatever. Like if you're in the earth and fucking understand, that kind of shit, I'm down, man. Like, earth first, dude. It's like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's, no, whatever. But
how far down do you think it could possibly go underneath us? I mean, infinity. What do you think?
Dude.
Just straight up postulation here.
Still Earth, man. Answer that one still. Hold on.
Yeah, Vlad, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Well, my thing has always been, I really fathomed what it could be and what it couldn't be. I think it's an infinite plane, but we're contained in one section of it now, and I don't believe the whole other little pods and stuff like that. I'm talking in the infinite plane, and we're stuck in this electromagnetic structure that's holding back whatever it is on the other side. And the only way to get to the other side is spiritual. And that's the infinite, which would be, eternity, I feel. So that it's flat on every direction. And above us, I'm undecided about where it's above us, but I think below us, it's solid for however long it wants to be in this one area. And I feel it's designed just for us, around us. Feelings about it and my understandings and my realizations about it, and to fathom that, and I think that's another reason we're seeing it, that flat horizon. No matter how, if we even got higher than what, yeah, it would still be that flat horizon, because it's a plane that just keeps on going on and on and on. Because even if it was for the dome or the barrier, whatever barrier it is, everybody's assuming it's a circular pattern because of the way the sun supposedly goes, or what they think it is. It would still have an end, and you'll be able to see that. That's why I'm thinking it. That's why it has that. It just looks like it goes on forever and ever, because it does. It is, and I feel it's just more of a spiritual thing beyond that. That's where I'm standing with that. I'm done.
That was good. I don't even exactly remember what I even asked you originally.
This was that we're at. No. I got carried away there. Oh, about the where how far it goes down.
Mm.
Well, Tom Foolery has joined us. He says,
Nice.
others. There's
Okay, I'm cutting it.
Potatoes.
other lands
Potato. He's so funny.
is so attractive because most flat earthers either love high fantasy or hate the authority.
Ooh,
I mean,
what a damning statement.
I don't know.
Ooh.
Yeah, it would be pretty sweet to go start your own country, your own island, you know?
Dude, no, he's right, man. I've always wanted to get a rocket ship and go to outer space, even though that, you know, and fuck the authority.
Just Han Solo, your way through life and shit.
Yeah, word.
Sorry, I'm not even a big Star Wars fan.
Just not even, no, it's just the whole, just be everything that he.
Yeah.
Just, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, dude, about the shape of the earth, though.
Yeah.
What about if it's like, you know, the way I see it is like a dielectric plane.
What do you mean?
You ever looked at there's an image, you can go look it up, if you look it up on Google Images, and if you share your screen, and I see you going through it, I could probably find the picture. It's called the full magnetic spectrum. And in the middle of this, I would say pull it up, it's worth it. It's got like, it would be like a disc shaped flat plane in the middle of a sphere of electromagnetivity. And it's weird because it like emanates from the center, much like the idea of what I've talked about with the tree of life and the stars being the leaves of the tree of life. Moving on the ecliptic or something, you know, I don't know how it's going, only God knows, man. But if you look at that picture and you see the dielectric plane, it's not that far down. But who knows how big we are in proportion to it. That's the thing that's kind of been tripping me out lately.
In a strange way, I feel like the infinite plane could also be a.
Well, this wasn't an infinite plane. This isn't an infinite plane.
No, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I was going back to what Vlad was saying first.
Oh, yeah.
The infinite plane idea could, I think a glower could argue that no, it's not an infinite plane. It's because the Earth is so big and it's a ball. Duh, you know. So I don't know. I feel that we live more on a flat plane that ends at some point, and there, when we observe the sky, we observe it going around us in various directions, doing whatever it does. Because that maybe that, you know, whatever it is, but we're flat. That's what I think, and I don't know about no infinite plane. You know, I don't know.
Well, I mean, the infinite plane is an interesting idea.
It's an interesting idea, but I mean, I can't like
That's
assume it to be. I can't stretch. I think being a flat earth quote dogmatist, the way I look at it, you know, the immediate land around you is flat and the sky doesn't mean shit because they're not connected. No. So I think that's flat. But to go a step further and project out the unknown and say, even the stuff I can't see empirically, that's even infinite. I personally think that's maybe going too far. What do you guys say to that?
it's kind of figurative that you'd say you'd be going too far.
I think it goes too far. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, like
Well, what do you think, Vlad? What do you think, Vlad? I'm not. I'm just curious.
That's what I say. I've contemplated that, but I don't feel there's because what's on the other. If it ends somewhere, what's on the other side of that? There's got to be something on the other. If there's this side, there's got to be another side. So what's on the other side of that is the thing. So that's why it just goes. You know, it just goes in all directions around us and then below us and above us. You know, it's probably the same. I don't know if it's the same way or if because it's not space. In my understanding of what the Bible says, it's separated the waters from the waters, so there's water above us too. However far that is, I don't know. I might just go on. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I just look at it as what we're in, the area we're in, which is the electromagnetic field that's containing us here. That the only way on the other side of that is a spiritual thing. It's not a physical. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. I mean, that's the only way I can comprehend it.
Like kind of like some kind of like free range, free roaming video game that just goes on forever and ever, kind of like just a static thing. And then outside of it, outside of the dimensions of that plane, of that existence, it's a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever that pertains to. I mean, I'm not sure what's beyond that. We can only, imagine what it could be. But that's something I can fathom because, like I said, it would be like the thing with the floating disc in it. And then it would have to be a floating disc. Because what is it? What's it grounded to? And then what's on the outside of that surround? Once you're ended, there's got to be another side to that ending. That's what makes it end.
Check this out. I can empirically tell you that the land around me is flat, and then okay. So I can go south, and I could, in theory, I could go to Antarctica, and then I could go out further than Antarctica, and I could go on for a while. But just on its basis alone, it's technically impossible to declare that the plane is infinite, because unless you can live for eternity and travel this plane for eternity to see if it really is infinite.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
There's no way that anyone could ever prove that it's infinite. You could always be argued that someone spent their whole life traveling as far as they could, but they were still only halfway to when it does end,
Yeah, halfway to eternity.
Yeah, or whatever. So.
Well, yeah, I'm not declaring it. You asked me what I thought, so that's my thoughts.
But I see what you're saying, though. What do you say?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, how do you feel about the idea of how the sky seems to, how the celestial objects seem to travel around us in this spheroid type, half spheroid, I guess, pattern?
Well, they spin above us. They spin in a left to right, or right to left.
Whatever it is, it don't even matter.
Counterclockwise from where we're at.
I mean, it doesn't even matter. It's just the idea of the fact that things do have this circular motion.
I was looking at the sky because I have my sister's property, and it's like totally pitch black out there. When there's no moon, you can see all the stars, and you can see what they call the Milky Way. I don't know what they call the Milky Way anymore, because that implies it's a galaxy. So that whatever that cluster of stars or lights in the sky, good out there. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, what if the stars are not actually curving, in a curved shape on what we see, because we're always seeing that no matter where we're at, we see that. What if they just keep on going, but the way that the perspective works again, it just appears like it's dropping down in a curve. You know what I'm saying? And that what people think is the dome, actually still just going straight out. And then, we only see what we can see from our viewpoint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, that's...
And they're not curved. It's on a flat.
For me to take the leap and say that because the immediate ground around me is observably flat, and then to say that it's a flat Earth, that's already a huge leap, but I'm willing to take it. But for me to go and take even yet another leap and say that it is infinite, that's like an exponentiated leap, because of the fact that death plays into that, and the impossibilities, the probabilities and the impossibilities are quite present.
That's why I feel we'll find out when our spiritual part of us exits this realm.
Yeah, that's for real. How do you feel about that, Issa? You there, Issa?
Yeah, brother, forgive me. What's cracking?
No,
Zoning out.
I was talking about, you know,
Good.
Vlad.
What's up?
No, Vlad was talking about I can't take that next step and say that it's infinite. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on the infinite plane idea?
Dude, I think it's probably crazier than we can think. And I think that I like the infinite idea. I like the thought. All of these are right at the moment are thought exercises. And I mean, I love the idea of the infinite plane with an infinite ceiling and more land and possibly other suns with other ponds. I think it's fascinating. The Kaibashi, whatever that map, the Kobayashi map. That thing is pretty freaking cool. With more. Imagine if they've already mapped out a couple other locations, like that map implies. And but
Maybe that's where the celebrities retire.
But also too, it's funny. I thought, okay, we talked about that Gotham Shield. O'Reilly just got, that guy O'Reilly. He's probably done so much for the team.
Oh, O'Reilly's been on Fox News for like 30 fucking years.
You know what I'm saying, Doug? He's done so much for the team. Like, it's like something's about to go down, and he gets fired from Fox. Now he's gonna like disappear. Go to
Dude, that motherfucker writes like 4 books a year, and they're like all #1 bestsellers and shit. He's so fucking stacked. But anyways, go on.
Gangster. So fucking so that dude retired or gets off the scene immediately right now. Everyone's talking about going to Antarctica, like John Kerry and all them. Who the fuck knows? But I don't. I don't know. I think the infinite plane idea is very interesting. I also look at the full magnetic spectrum, and it kind of implies that there might be a limitation to it, which doesn't mean that there aren't other areas of magnetic spectrum. Like, I think sometimes maybe it could be an infinite plane, and that there's these magnetic spheres like almost next to each other. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, let's say we can't maybe cross into the other barrier. But like imagine, I wish I could show you this picture, man. They should look it up, full magnetic spectrum, and it's like got a green plane in the middle of it. It's like a sphere with all these lines that show the magnetic.
No, I've seen that. You showed me that before.
Cool. So you know what I'm talking about. So like that green plane in the center of that picture is what I envision possibly as Earth would be, the dielectric plane. And you have the ripples, you have that ripple effect in the dielectric plane. That would be your mountains and shit like that, your topography. That ripple, like that, like how the magnetic plane isn't necessarily all flat. Like it's like mostly flat, the dielectric plane, but there's some, like if you look at Ken Wheeler's video of like when he does the dielectric plane with the magnet with these certain bits of iron, or like I forget the toy or whatever he's using, but it was he's creating the dielectric plane, and there were ripples in it, and it makes me think about the mountains. But then you've already got the water, and the waters of the deep. The waters of the deep, biblically and all that kind of shit, have always been there.
Damn.
Yeah, so what if space is actually what if water is really like, going on infinitely, forever?
That's what I was just saying.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, forgive me. I was zoning out. No disrespect to you. I was fucking all over the place on that. Forgive me.
Yeah, it's coming up on being 420 for real.
Yo, and yeah, actually, I'm supposed to be in LA. My boys doing anything now. They're going out there. I should have gone. I haven't gone to any of these fucking conventions in so long. But yeah, there's some 420 conventions. 421, I think, in LA or SoCal. Yeah.
Well, so I mean, I guess maybe we can wrap up the show. I guess, guys, right?
Yeah, I'm down, man. Yeah, I'm chilling. Yeah, shoot, man. Let's play a song for Still Earth. Sound like it.
Oh,
No, I won't have music on my. I won't have music on my live stream, bro.
That's funny.
If you
Yo,
try to sneak that in.
yeah, right. The acapella. Hold on. Yeah, but yo, brother, thanks for having me on, VB. I always love your shows. And Still Earth, man. I'm glad we're cool, man. Even though you can make fun of my music all day long, I don't give a fuck.
Hey, I'm not making fun of your music.
Motherfuckers.
No. Listen, so thank you. I appreciate you not making fun of the music, but I understand your point. But that's what I'm saying is that in chat you could be like, "Oh, this motherfucker," like it's all good, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm like, oh, Matic.
Like, dude, you could literally like, I'll try to. If I look in chat, I'll be like, "Damn it, I should have not played that song." I'll look back in chat, you'd be like, "This motherfucker ruined it again." Like, feel free to talk. Talk as free as you fucking want, bro. You know what I mean? It's nothing. I don't think. Yeah, I don't. It's all good, bro.
It's just because I was enjoying the conversation people were having. And, all right.
Dude, I've done that so many times, though. It's like it's.
Oh, good.
It's like that's what they do. That's why I'm saying, please, you're fucking entitled to your opinion, my brother. And and I don't want to mess up good conversations either.
So, do you do it to troll people, Issa? You do it to troll people sometimes?
Do I do it to troll people?
Yeah, like if you don't like where the conversation is going, you just break out the guitar and shit. Or is that not? No.
Well, it depends. It depends. Like, hey, I made Moon and Stars from Timmy Osmond.
Yeah.
When me and Snack were actually me and I know Snack. We were there, and me and Timmy were talking about the ISS, and I was like, it could be a balloon, and he's like, oh, but it's so far away, and that's what we came up with. So many miles. So many miles. And then and then it morphed into that song. So it's like all those kinds of like I got my flat earth scene, you know what I mean? It's a flat earth scene. Did you see that one yet?
Maybe I have. Maybe.
I check out my channel, bro. Also, dude, I've been doing street interviews in New York City.
Oh damn! Really?
Word up, bro.
Yeah, I've been watching those. I watched a few of those last night.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Damn.
Yeah, fucking, and I did on my video I just put up. Check this out, actually, VB. 2 minutes and 50 seconds in on my new video with the Issa Mahal equals One Love from New York City to Flat Earth.
Okay.
I got from 250 in, man. There's like I'm catching what I think is how. When people say, "Oh, the boat's over the curve," like, look, what's happening is it's especially during the hotter days, you're getting this atmospheric lensing, and I caught it happening on the front of a boat. So the visual effect is happening in front of your eyes as it's happening, and then I go and I show another footage of when I was filming the Verrazano, and you can see it's the after effect of that what already happened, that I was showing beforehand. So I kind of go back and forth trying to make that point. But I'm shit at making videos, and I don't know how to edit or do any of this shit yet. So I'll just fucking write from my phone right up to YouTube mostly.
There might even be fucking free apps, bro, just in the Play Store. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotta find something to run them through and edit properly. It is
you could probably use some app and just do cheap slap togethers and just cut and
I've been
paste.
doing-
Just
I've been
hack
doing-
off chunks of time and stuff and just put it in a box and move it together and press play.
That's what I've been doing. Well, I did the video editor on YouTube, so I've been fucking with that. But other than that, like, it's just like I don't know. I've just gotta used to it, bro. Really.
Yeah. Well, damn, I feel like I'm slacking. So yeah. So I'm gonna put links to both y'all's channels. So thanks for being on there, Issa. You want any last words there, Vlad? Thanks for being on too.
I just want to say it was cool talking to you, Issa. No hard feelings. I'm not talking shit about you. Don't take it the wrong way.
Yo, man, I think it's weird because I've heard you and I like you. When you were saying before, it's weird to hear people talking like you're thinking. I've felt that same way listening to you speak before, so respect.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, seriously. So, You know, that's why it's like, but again, bro, I'm pretty thick skinned, man. So feel free to like, be like, oh, this motherfucker, like, don't feel no way about that. You know what I mean? Like, really. Yeah, I don't get,
Yeah, I was trying to be nice about it.
I don't get my panties in a bunch about that stuff. Yeah, brother.
Yeah, I know you didn't.
Yeah.
You were actually apologizing and stuff, so that's cool.
Oh yeah, and I'll also, I mean, it's like it's almost a character trait where I can't help it. I'll walk in and just be like, blah blah. So like, I feel free, like, you know, I'm gonna keep doing that. I've done it. I'll try to tone it down if I think of it, but it's most of the time I'm running on 100%. I tell women that when I first meet them, I'm like, look, dude, I have no filter, and I don't fucking play around. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I got.
He's got that artiste edge.
Maybe that's a good fucking excuse. I like that.
You're an artiste, bro. You're an artiste.
Thank
They just tell some people don't understand, bro.
you.
And I appreciate you. I appreciate letting me be back on here, BB. That means a lot.
It's an honor to have both you guys on here. All right. Sweet. It's been a good old time. Peace out to everybody in the chat. Tom Foolery, the ISS, Flat Earth Math was in here. Sorry we didn't get you in here. We didn't feel like we needed to talk about that stuff directly with you. We were just posing some questions, but thank you for offering your help. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna put both the channels in the description for Isa Mahalski77 and for Flat Still Earth. This is Validation Boy live stream, April 19th, 2017.